Hello, and welcome to the 49th episode of the Destiny Community Podcast. The first episode where Destiny 2 is officially released.
Finally!
49th?
49?
Oh, crap. I put 50 in the title. Whoops.
Fine. All we have is Destiny 2 on the mind. And 2 is the only number.
Nothing else matters.
Whoops. My bad, guys.
Our 50th is going to be with Dato.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
It's going to be the raid one. The one about raiding.
Yeah,
my bad, guys.
Assuming we're done with the raid.
Yeah, assuming we're done. It's going to be pretty exciting.
All right, we're playing Destiny 2, guys. What
Destiny
do you guys think?
2!
It's everything I've ever wanted.
It's pretty good,
Everything
I guess.
I've ever wanted.
It really is.
It
I
is
just want to keep grinding.
Same.
You know?
It's pretty damn close. It is pretty damn close to everything.
It's really close because it's like you're out there in the wild and you're like, okay, I got to do this thing on European Dead Zone, and then 5 hours later, you've been running around collecting chests.
Mm-hmm.
You've been doing treasure maps. You've been doing patrols. You've been doing so much stuff.
You get constantly distracted. It's awesome.
Constantly.
It's like an ADD worst nightmare. It's like you set up waypoint, you go into a mission or to do something specific, and you're like, ooh, a lost sector, ooh, a public event, ooh, a world boss, ooh.
Now I think I have enough tokens to go get a legendary engram. I think
better
I'm
do
gonna
that.
go do that.
2 hours later, you're like, what was I doing again? Oh, right.
The main mission, my bad.
I was supposed to be killing things, just jumping over things and killing it with an SMG for a random quest. Yeah.
It's so good, guys. I'm so happy with it. I didn't expect Destiny 2 to be this much better. Like, we've been so used to Destiny 1, and the quality of life improvements and just the polish is so much better. It's almost unfair to call it a sequel, in my opinion. It's like it's the next. I don't know. It's not a sequel. It's like it's what Destiny should have been from the. You know,
it's like Destiny 1's like hot sister that when you met her, you didn't know you thought the sister was your girlfriend was pretty cute. Then you went over to the house, and then her hot sister is just absolutely like 11 or 12, and then you're like, oh man, maybe the bad metaphor. Never mind.
What?
I think there was a Polygon article that summed it up really nicely. It's Destiny without all the bullshit. Which unless you count shaders, but we'll save that for later.
You know what it
gosh.
is? Everything makes sense with what you're doing. You have a reason. You have dire straits because of something happening in the world that makes you care about it as well. You're like, oh my god, this Gaul guy is a real asshole. We have to kill him.
He is.
He's a problem.
Mega asshole.
He's a maniacal. Like he's crazy. I mean, even the Cabal at a certain point. Kind of, spoilerish in the story. Even the Cabal at a certain point start going, wait a minute, Gaul, you're kind of crazy. You're hell bent on this.
Let's talk about the story a little bit. I mean, the story, in my opinion,
hold on, 1 second. Spoiler warning. At this point, the game's out. So, okay, there you go.
Why don't we talk about the story without spoiling it? We can talk about our impressions. We can talk about how we felt about the story without actually talking about the story beats. When people are probably somewhere between 2 to 10 hours into it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, not everyone else played it right launched.
So I gotta say, right off the bat, it was so much more epic than anything we saw story-wise from Destiny 1. And what I felt was there were consequences and there was danger in this story. And not only for us, but for the other Guardians we were talking to. When we went and talked to Ikora, when we went and talked to Zavala, they were having an emotional reaction to what was going on in the story. And it was interesting, and it felt impactful as opposed to most of the stuff we saw in Destiny 1, especially in vanilla Destiny 1. They got better with story, but this is a whole nother step in story compared to anything we saw in Rise of Iron.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Taken King was like, oh wow, they're actually learning to tell a story in this universe. Rise of Iron was like, wow, this is great but short. Suddenly, Destiny 2 is like, oh,
here's a movie, guys.
Yeah.
Right.
This is a saga. This is happening. I cannot wait to see what happens and unfolds and all that. And it made me feel right back to how they told stories in Halo. Not to keep on hitting the Halo horse because that gets brought up quite a bit. But obviously they made Halo 1, 2, and 3 and ODST and Reach. And those were some epic campaigns. Like they gave you memories.
Yeah.
Yeah, like basically one of the last missions had a very, very large Halo feel to it. Like the ending story beats of Halo 1 and 3 in particular. You guys will probably know what I'm talking about if you haven't played it. But there's some time constraints involved, and feels good.
There's several, kind of those connections that you make, and I know this first part of the podcast is going to be no spoilers, right? Right, and then we're going to switch over to spoilers. And
I don't think we can spoil anything. It's too early.
I really want to spoil some stuff. Let's not.
Oh man,
okay.
It's so early.
Okay.
I'm so early.
I think that if we divided up this beginning portion into 2 segments, it'd be beneficial. But
okay. Well, let's get
another thing I really
thoughts,
enjoyed was the way you travel across the universe actually makes sense. Like going from place to place, the story is progressing. You leave some characters and there's regret. You see new characters and they're happy to see you. And you're constantly progressing. And even the stories that they kind of get left behind a little bit come through and they come back up and they make connections at the end. It's not a situation where we have like this black garden and this like heart of the garden just pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's not Destiny 1.
What's going on here?
Yeah, it's not Destiny 1. Hey, here's a new location unlocked for you. You can go to it now.
Yeah.
It's giving you
then one
reasons to
cutscene.
go everywhere.
And and the voice acting is just
so good.
So good. The cutscenes and like you can hear the passion in their voice. These characters are not one-dimensional, right? You don't have. It reminds me of like when I was playing Mass Effect. You guys were telling me about Mass Effect. I was playing Mass Effect 3 or something like that. The character would be giving you this tragic information, and their voice and face was like happy. They're like smiling as they're telling you you're.
That was Andromeda.
You're talking Andromeda.
Yeah, Andromeda.
Andromeda, whatever.
Pain face.
So I'm sitting here watching this, and I'm being sucked in by the visual of it, the voice of it, the music of it. Holy crap, the music! Let's just give a shout out to
everything about the sound, the guns, the music, the everything.
The guns, the audio,
amazing. The audio is so good.
The music is funny because at times it feels very Destiny 1, right? It's pulling.
It's got some
remixing.
Callbacks.
Yeah, it's doing callbacks. Exactly, that's the best way of putting it. Other times the music feels absolutely fresh and nothing like you've ever heard in Destiny.
The violin
before,
stuff,
but it fits perfectly to exactly what you're doing and where you are. It works and it's constant. It's constantly going. It's so many times I'll start just turning off the music, playing my own music. And this, I could see me wanting to listen to this music a little bit more because it fits so well with the action note for note, And
they have the music out on YouTube. They linked
whole soundtrack.
The whole soundtrack.
Whole thing.
You can also buy it on the Bungie store and get an exclusive in-game emblem. So that's really cool. But
the music not sponsored.
No, I mean, I don't even care about promoting the Bungie store because all that money goes to charity. So
and everything they have is so good. Have you seen this shirt? This is amazing.
I just gave out one of these codes. I just gave out one of these codes a few minutes ago in the chat, and I'll be giving out a bunch more during this podcast. So it's all for charity. It's fun, but this game, God, guys,
it blew me away.
So
I'm not gonna lie. There were like many times that I nearly cried, that I had to really stop myself from crying, especially when they played the Destiny 1 like original music. I was like, oh god.
Yeah.
Okay, there's one point here that I do want to talk about. The very opening for how they kind of honored people that had played the game.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
The legacy memories. Wow.
So they go through if you've played Destiny 1 and you did the raids and you did Trials of Osiris, they go through each of those moments. Like they'll show you the Vault of Glass, like a black and white image of the Vault of Glass, and then they show a list of your fire team, who you did it with, and the date you completed it. And I don't know about you guys, but I had forgotten some of those people. Not forgotten them, but
it
was like, oh, that was my first.
It was 3 years ago.
Yeah,
It was
so it
3
was
years
so
ago.
nice to like see those
Yeah.
names and remember those names and remember that date. And you could kind of like in my head, I was like, how long after the release of Destiny was that Vault of Glass? How long after that the release of Dark Below was Crota's End? You know, like it was so fun to like watch through that. I hope we can watch through that again.
Oh,
Like,
you
You
I hope
can,
it's
yeah,
not-
there is a way.
You can.
Yeah, when you log
Right.
into your character, you can actually click it. It's like right
Nice.
below. Yeah, so you can
I
take a
love
look
it.
again.
Now, here's something that was a little different for me, and it's not the average person's experience in this, but I've deleted so many characters that that opening screen was just me on
Really?
all of them.
Oh
Nobody else.
no, really?
Oh no!
Because I had already deleted. There wasn't any original characters. I've already deleted I had like 9 deleted characters.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So for me, I didn't really get to experience it like someone who didn't.
So
but
it didn't show your fire
Oh.
team because it was already deleted?
Yeah, that's too bad
Yeah.
it's not account based. I would have
Wow.
thought that would be account
I
based.
would have thought it would
like
be account based as well.
That's too bad, Pope.
yeah, there's one warlock. Ironically, there's a warlock that I had never deleted.
Wow. Now
That's
we
the
And
know.
only
my-
character I've deleted. That's
My
the only
hunter
character.
and my
same. That's the only
titan.
character I've
So
deleted.
I did do a raid early on with a crew, and it was still on there. But yeah, it was definitely a special moment for seeing my name pop up with my wife and son, Prison of Elders, and doing trials with, just it was a really nice touch.
It was
Very special.
surprising. I had forgotten all about Prison Elders. I was like, oh, yeah. What beat Skullus? Huh.
Yeah, the scale of the whole thing too. Like, but going back to the story, is like the scale of each environment. Like, there are some environments
Yes.
that were small and felt claustrophobic, and then would open up, and it was like so vast. And there were moments I felt like there was 20 or 30 or 40 enemies on the screen. Like, there's so many enemies.
There's much more, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, there's
nothing
a
I've
lot
ever
more.
seen in Destiny. It's just the scale of the battles, the scale of the environments, like everything just feels so much bigger. And
Yeah.
that goes to
Yeah.
missions and into strikes. I don't know if you guys got a chance to play any of the strikes yet.
I was just about to say that, Briar. The strikes make weapon selection important, and now we've run into a point where range matters in Destiny.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, because the
range
environments are bigger now.
The environments are bigger, your weapons damage, the selection of your weapons, the way that you build your character all matters now. It really does. And I love strikes. I've been grinding strikes. As soon as I got it active, I stick in the playlist. I enjoy it very much. And there's some quality of life changes for those people who like to grind strikes. It shows the stats at the end help. They really listen to the people who play that playlist a lot, and they show information that's valuable to you there, like how many orbs you created and the time, and it gives you some stats that you can use to grow and get better in each strike, And so God, man, so many of my check boxes have been checked for this game that I just had to reach out to some Bungie guys and just go, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
I got a question for you because I've only run 2 strikes. They were both new strikes, and that was lucky. But what I was wondering is, since you played more of them, are you matched up with Guardians about your power level, or are you matched up randomly? Like, because I know
they were at my power level. Because now that
it does do matchmaking
Yes,
to your
it
power
does.
level.
It
Okay.
does.
They do that in Destiny 1 also.
They did,
Yes,
yeah.
they do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I noticed it because when I went in when I was very first able to go in, and everybody else was about my level, and I remember us like it was intense. The music, it felt like a raid,
Mhm.
in that the quality of the mechanics, the boss fights were fun and engaging. The music, everything was so intense. And then also because we were lower light leveled, all 3 of us, we were dying.
Difficult.
And the classic scene where my teammates are dead. We're in we're in the death zone, and I revive them in the last second, and then we beat him, and we're all dancing at the end. One thing that I think they got right, another thing, God, so many things, but at the end of the strike, Briar, you used to just get these drops from the chest would open even towards the end of D1, and it was sort of odd feeling. Well, it's picture to me, it's kind of like, remember in Borderlands when you killed the boss, all the loot explosion that comes out?
Yeah, yeah.
So now it's kind of the Destiny version of that. That chest, everybody, it's like gathers around it, and a fountain of engrams comes out. So
how many?
You do have to like walk around and pick them up.
How many come out?
Yeah.
Oh, like a lot.
A lot.
It was. I did one strike to get an exotic, and I was just like, holy crap, that was awesome. Just seeing like even the glimmer, like little blocks of glimmer on the floor. Like I just love seeing
you have to pick up
that.
the blocks of glimmer.
Yeah,
like
it's
scattered
so
about.
cool.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's like-
I haven't done any
I
of the
love
strikes
that.
yet.
Tokens. There's strike tokens. I don't know what they're actually called, but they're basically strike tokens. There's shaders in there. There's engrams. There's glimmer. There's
That's
a bunch
so
of
cool.
stuff that comes out.
Yeah, a
so
lot.
it feels.
I can't wait.
You feel like you just got done with this epic battle because the battles, like mechanically, have a lot of cool features.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
them.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
bosses are huge. They're in these huge arenas, and you finally get through them. And when it's new like this, like it does feel like a struggle sometimes.
Have you guys? done
Boom!
the
You get
Nightfall?
this loot explosion, and it feels great.
Oh, that is
Have
awesome.
you guys?
I haven't done it
guys-
yet.
I haven't done
I'm
a
waiting
single
to be
strike
as
yet.
highlight as I
Oh,
can
okay.
before I do the Nightfall.
Not even.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
either.
I did.
I was
it
planning
to-
on doing it today. I just ran out of time.
I did it to get another particular exotic. And let me tell you, that Nightfall is fun.
It's 10 minutes, right?
It's you have 10 minutes to get through the whole thing, but there's a modifier called like time splitter, time warp, something like that, where for each enemy you kill based on the level of the enemy, like if it's a tier 1, tier 2, major, whatever, it adds 2 seconds to your timer. So
That's cool.
so you actually have somewhere around like 18 minutes to get through the whole thing. Assuming you kill basically everything, there's some sections that you can skip. But yeah, when you add in the particular exotic that I was going for, had a timer where you had to complete the Nightfall with 5 minutes left on the timer.
Oh, wow.
Then it became okay, I like this challenge.
We got a boogie.
Wow.
Yeah, we were moving, and we
Can you say actually all the modifiers that were on there?
Yeah, so there's one where you guys remember Match Game?
Mm-hmm.
It's a twist on Match Game that I really like, where at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen it'll say arc energy courses through whatever, and now arc damage will be amplified, but everything else will be like reduced. So
Is that for
I
enemies
see.
as well?
for enemies as well. So you got to be careful. You got to know what enemy types you're going up against, or else you're suddenly going to get like, oh, I'm going after this captain. Oh, I just got one shot because Solar was active, and I was going to go kill him with my arc staff or something like that.
That's pretty cool.
That's a really cool.
That is awesome. How often
really,
does it change?
really cool thing. About once every 30 seconds or so. I don't remember the exact timing on it, but you had it's rather quick, and your fire team has to be on call. Like you guys got to be like, okay, we've had this for a while. What's coming next? Void. The second it pops up, and whoever's got void damage stuff start immediately going after like the larger health enemies.
That's cool.
It was really cool. I loved it. We ended up finishing, like we went through it once and ended up having like 4 minutes and 30 seconds left on the timer. But that wasn't good enough to finish to get the exotic. So we had to go through it again, and we used our drops and everything from it, and realized what we needed to do to change it up. And we ended it with like 8+ minutes on the end of it. So it's you get to see some really cool improvements from it. You have to actually think about your strategy going through it. And just the best part about it, in my opinion, is you are pushed forward. It's not, all right, just leisurely stroll through here. I'm going to sit back, snipe everything. It's fine. Just wait around forever. You use a heavy ammo synth. It's like, no, you move forward. You kill the ads, or else you're not going
It'll be
to.
interesting to see if people start soloing it.
I would be. I am sure there will be people that will do it. They'll probably have to get some higher light level stuff out there. Get some better loadouts, because I was using just like this weird janky loadout that
whatever you have, right?
Yeah.
Imagine that sniper, that PSN exclusive, would be really good.
Yeah.
Because you can
Yes.
switch
Is that
damage types.
Borealis?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Borealis.
Borealis. I got that last night from just some
Your
random-
RNG is on
My
point this
RNG.
time, Pat. You
okay.
stole it from
Let's
Poe
talk
Bear.
about this. Let's talk
Hold
about
on. Before we do, because I want to go back to the timing thing, is how long did it take you guys to get through the story? Like the campaign part of the story, the main campaign.
I'm still not done.
Still not done?
Still
How many
not.
hours are you in, Pope?
God, I don't know, a lot, because I've had the last 2 days, the 2 days off. But I can't.
So you started doing strikes before you finished this campaign.
Yeah, because it was available to me, and I'm such a whore for strikes. I love sitting. I love sitting.
I'm
in that
really
playlist.
bad at finishing stories as well.
Yeah, I don't do
finished
that.
The first day where I did like 14 hours, I didn't finish it, and then I was like, I guess okay, you unlock
There's so much
stuff
other
after.
stuff
I guess
to
I'll
do,
finish
right?
it.
What? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I find
So
myself.
So
hung up.
I was so compelled by the story that I wanted to finish it. I wanted to see how it ended.
I was compelled by exploring and doing patrols and opening chests, and I really
Lots and I are the
wanted.
same way.
Yeah, I really wanted the other subclasses, and that's what I
Yeah.
was really
That's what I
focused on.
Yeah.
I did a lot of grinding for the levels grinding
Mhm.
to get to max level, and then I'm flipping the European Dead Zone, and I'm going to all the different areas. I don't know how many public events
Mhm.
I've done, but I keep grinding the zones and getting the legendary engrams. You know, every time you loop over, you get legendary engrams, and you get one from Tess. The what are those things called? The white ones?
Bright engrams.
Bright engrams,
The
yeah.
bright,
Yeah.
and those bright engrams.
They're so fun.
Holy crap!
Yeah, they got a lot of cool
they
stuff
get
in 'em.
some cool stuff, man.
Yeah.
And I picked up some great exotics. Just
I will say it took me about 10 hours to complete the story, and I
that's what
went
it took
in.
me too. I
Okay,
mainlined
yeah.
it.
I went in. I was like, okay, I want to do the story because I want to see what happens, and I don't want spoilers from people coming in chat.
I don't
being
want to
like,
get spoiled.
Yeah, I didn't want people coming and be like, "What'd you think when this happened?" And I'd be like,
Hey,
No one did that in my
I
chat.
didn't
Actually, they
until
were
now.
really good. Oh wait, but I started.
"You started right away."
you started.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
started.
yeah, okay,
yeah,
yeah.
come on.
Yeah. So
I had
I focused on that,
a
and
5-minute timer in my chat saying spoilers are like totally forbidden.
Yeah.
You will get banned right away.
yeah. So in a 10-hour period, the only wall that I hit, I think, was there was a mission that required level 11, I think.
Yeah.
And then there was a mission that required level 15. Those were the two walls that I hit. So I was like, okay, let's do adventures.
Spend 30 minutes doing stuff. And
The
it seemed
split
timed out.
Yeah.
So do the main story,
Mhm.
then do a couple of adventures per planet, and then move on to the next planet.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
it seems
So-
like you're perfectly leveled all the way
Yeah,
through.
I approached it that way, and it played so well, so perfectly. I was surprised
Right.
at how well somebody could just come in, play the game, and feel like, oh, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this now, I could do. Oh, let's go
And
to
the
the new planet.
adventures-
Now let's.
I
do
did
the-
everything,
Yeah,
but the story.
but at the story, they all tell just information about the game, and the
Yeah.
adventures felt like Destiny 1 stories missions, where the
Yeah,
story
they
missions
were.
in D2 are like, oh, you'd buy this game for the story. You know, like
Yes.
some
Yeah.
people would buy the
Yeah.
game just for the story
Oh,
to
yeah.
experience that.
and then feel satisfied. I
Mhm.
would feel satisfied if I paid $60. Like I would put this. I don't know if I'd put it quite on like an Uncharted level, but like I would feel satisfied. Like if I play Uncharted for 10 hours or 12 hours and burn through the story, I don't buy Uncharted for the multiplayer. I just buy it for the story, and
Yeah.
I'm done with it. And I would feel satisfied buying Destiny 2 for the story and then putting it down.
I put it on the Halo Reach level. I really like that
Yeah.
story, and walking
I
away,
like it
I
too.
agree.
walking away from Destiny 2 story, I was like, well done. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
My God, I nearly cried so many times. It was so embarrassing.
And then I don't
I'm
want
at
to
a-
talk about what happens at the end, but the ending has so many
The ending
surprises to
after
it,
the
and
end.
it's so much fun. Like they just kind of keep coming. There's like several surprises.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's
There
just
are.
fun to like. How did they keep that secret?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. So I'm telling you though, for me, doing the adventures and the kind of little things that you do on the planets in each one of the
Yeah.
zones,
Mhm.
those were
Patrol
really
is- There's
fun.
so much depth to patrol now.
right.
There's so much to do, and it's definitely a valid way to level up. It's a good way to level up.
Can
your
we
character.
do a public service announcement for people who love patrols?
Sure.
I really want to talk about this. The public events have 2 tiers to them, and I know Bungie
God.
said this, but
They
please
do.
pay attention. Do this. Pay attention. There is a heroic tier to every public event, and they require you to do different things depending on the type of public event it is. if you don't know what it is, pay attention to your teammates. They may be trying to teach
one of them,
you
like
something.
the glimmer. The glimmer.
Sure.
Yeah, the glimmer extraction, right? Is what happens to me is I get into that glimmer extraction, and one guy pops a super right at the beginning and starts wiping out everything. There's this little nodule that you have to blow up.
It's glowing.
Yeah, it's glowing.
It's actually extracting
it takes
glimmer.
a lot of damage. It actually takes if you're using a energy weapon or a kinetic weapon to blow it up,
Takes a lot.
it's going to take multiple clips, right? So I'm sitting there shooting that thing, and somebody comes in with a super, wipes out the entire enemy team, and moves the location, so I don't have time to start the challenge mode.
Actually, you can kill 2 of them on the 3rd round. I've done this before.
You can, but it's very difficult if your teammates.
If you're the only one doing it.
know?
Yeah.
And then there's the one where the red ship flies in.
Oh boy,
That one's
no
tough.
one shoots that ship.
Yeah,
No
you
one-
need your teammates' help.
You
At
do.
this point, you're light
Yeah.
level, and so there's a red ship that flies in, and I forget which public event it is. It's
It's the
you'll
drill
know-
ball one.
it's-
You'll
drill.
know because there's bombs
There's
falling
giant-
everywhere.
right.
Yeah, the
There's
one that gets
there's
bombed by cabals.
Right.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
if there's a red ship that flies in, and it flies in on the average time that it takes to beat the public event. It flies in twice, and if you shoot it down, it will activate a heroic event that has no time limit on it.
Yeah.
Right.
So
You
the
have to
time
kill-
limit goes away, and it makes it harder. But once you complete all the enemies, you get more loot. So it's awesome.
Anybody
Yeah,
know
but yeah.
what loot pool possibly opens up? Is it just a better
I
chance
think it
of
just gives
exotic?
you a better. I would guess it's a better chance of getting better loot.
I'm getting.
I think it doubles the number of engrams that drop, doesn't it?
Oh, is it a
I'm
double
getting
drop
l-
essentially?
and it
I
opens
feel
up
like it's-
legendary ones.
No,
So-
you can get legendaries if you don't.
Yeah, you
I've
can get
I've
exotics
gotten
from regular.
legendaries from. I've
Yeah.
gotten
I
legendaries.
No,
just
like
feel-
you're getting
Like
double.
usually it drops 1 engram. If I do the challenge mode, I feel like I get 2 engrams from it.
Well, that's what I'm
Right.
saying. 2 legendary drops.
Well, two
So-
two
They
could be rare.
possibilities. Yeah, they're usually
2
rare.
possibilities.
So you
the-
get
engrams.
2 rolls instead of 1 roll.
Oh,
That
I
makes
see what
sense.
you're saying.
Yeah,
I'm
2
sorry. We
rolls.
were saying the same thing, Brian. Sorry.
Yeah, I will say the dome one where you have to shoot the vents is very difficult.
It's hard.
It gets
that was
it gets a little chaotic.
How do you trigger that heroic?
You have to
shoot the
shoot the
vents.
vents. So there's like
You
these
gotta-
top vents on the very top part. You have to blow those, and then the second time after you kill the scion, you have to blow the mid tier ones.
Oh, you start.
Where
at
they
the top.
open and close.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
it's
And
really
then
hard.
They
I
only
can't get
open
the
when you
second-
die in the dome. When you're getting blasted by the heat, that's when they open to vent. So you have to
Yeah.
shoot it while you're like
It's
dying.
hard, man. Yeah.
Right, but I
tough.
haven't been able to get the second tier events to blow up. I've only been able to blow up the top.
Yeah.
It's hard if you're the only person because you're
you
slowly
have-
burning to death.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
you have 3 chances effectively to kill the vents, and so every single attempt you need to kill at least one of the vents, or else you won't be able to do it. It took that was the one that took us the longest time to actually figure out how to do.
Yeah, that one's a tough one.
What's the most rewarding thing you can do in patrols right now?
Public events, honestly, public events, and then
You can farm them really fast. Lost sectors are pretty good.
You can
Lost sectors
grind a lot
are really
sectors.
quick.
You can.
Yeah, you
so
really can. You can go into a lost sector, get the chest, walk out, and go right back in and get that chest again.
Now, are
and they
you
give
guys
you 3 tokens as well.
are you
Yeah.
guys feeling like, to me, when I play, I feel like lost sectors are not. I thought they were going to be. They're not what I expected.
Oh, really?
If there's anything that
They
I
said
felt
they
like,
were going to be short though.
Yeah.
they are very short.
They said they were going to be short for you to just pop in as you see it, kind of do it, get some loot, and leave.
Lost
kinda.
sectors are the equivalent of doing a VIP patrol mission in Destiny 1.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's really what it is.
But there's also
better
VIP
loot.
control missions.
and
there
there's
is-
also VIP.
It's so amazing that
It's
those
great.
just show up. Like a high value
Yeah.
target shows up. This would have been an actual public event in Destiny 1. Instead, it's
there's
just
that.
They're
it's
just
just a
walking
random one. It's like
But it's actually there's also those VIP
There is.
There's also those VIP patrol missions.
Yeah.
so.
There's regular
Oh,
VIP
right.
patrol missions that you can
I haven't
grab
done those.
and then go hunt one down. There's random yellow health bar enemies just kind of walking around, and they usually drop a chest. I think they
Yeah,
almost
they're-
always drop.
They're
a chest.
called high value targets.
And then there's the lost sectors that you actually have to kind of tunnel down in and find.
Yeah.
And then there's public events. There's just so much going on in Patrol
So
right
much
now.
to do.
Yeah,
But I want to make this point though. Like I hear you. I hear what you guys are saying about the lost sectors, but to me, there's two things that I'm a little disappointed in how they played out.
Okay.
I still feel that lost sectors should be lost. They should not be on the map.
They shouldn't be on the map. They really
should.
I was disappointed
The
to see that
the
too,
fun
actually.
part to me of lost sectors is that they are lost.
Finding
and that
them.
you had to find them, and then that was the activity was.
Yeah.
And then you're like, is this
That's
cave?
true.
Is this
It'd be
cave
cool
a
if-
lost sector? You
I'd be
know,
okay
and then
if,
you're like,
once you found it, then it showed up on your map for the rest.
That'd be fun.
yeah.
The rest-
I was a
Yeah,
little
that's fine.
I was a little disappointed that I could see them on my map. I could go
I was a
find
little
them,
disappointed
and then
too.
because you I get the whole idea behind them, but to me the adventure was to find them, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
So anyway.
I
That
will
makes
say,
sense.
like we're summing up patrols right now, and the patrol experience is next level. I have a prejudice that
Yes.
happens when I see the patrol beacons, and like I haven't done one of those high value target patrols because I think of Destiny 1 and I'm like, why would I do that? Why would I go do this thing where I got to go scan something? Like, why would I even trigger those things? I have this prejudice of thinking that because
Yes.
I don't like Destiny 1 patrols. Now, this whole experience of the patrol, which I don't even know if we should call it patrol. It's really like the destination.
It's like open
Yeah.
world exploration
Yeah.
type thing.
It's
yeah.
Destiny 2 destinations have all this stuff going on that just fits so well. You do the public event. You get loot. Oh, there's a chest right there. Go grab that. You get a token out of there. Oh, hey, lost sector. Let's go hit this real quick. Once we finish the lost sector, oh, there's another public event. Let's go fast travel over here. Starts the loop
Yeah.
over and over.
I
And-
get lost.
Yeah.
The word
never
you
leave.
the word you just mentioned there, fast travel, is one of the things that I really like, and then also one of the things I really dislike.
Oh, really?
But
Fast
you
travel.
can choose not to fast travel.
You can, yes, but it's there, and you're going to use it. My main, I love fast travel because it does allow you to be like, oh, I just got the end of this lost sector. Okay, I'm just gonna go back over here, or it gives you a nice like teleport back to this location to just go turn in all the materials that you've been gathering to get your rank up packages, which by the way is another way to level up, which you should be doing.
It's a good way.
It is the best
The
way.
exciting way.
The main thing I don't like about about fast travel is it makes the world feel so much smaller because you will immediately go to this location, go to the thing you're wanting to go to, and then like just like not really explore too much. That's just kind of what happens when you have it in the game. Yes, you don't have to use it, but a lot of the players will end up using it. I think like if we had our sparrows unlocked a little bit earlier than they are,
The sparrow thing.
we wouldn't have gotten so used to using fast travel that we would have then started exploring a little bit more in consequence. But that's like one of the few gripes that I have with
The feeling
patrols right now.
The feeling you have when you're doing a strike and your two other random people that they put on your fire team
They don't have sparrows yet?
They
Oh.
have sparrows and you don't.
Oh, you don't have one yet? 'Cause you
No!
didn't finish the,
You have
So
to
they're-
finish the story.
Oh, so they're like, zoom! they take off and I'm sitting
Yeah,
there going,
Pope.
damn it. So I'm like running behind.
I actually got a sparrow from my first bright engram, so I got one really early.
Oh,
I
nice.
got
And you can
first
use
or
it?
second.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a nice little shortcut.
Yeah, so Pope just throw some money at the screen and get some of that.
I didn't get a
get
bright
sparrow.
engram until after I finished the story. I was level like 17 or 18 when I finished the story.
I got a bunch of bright engrams from grinding patrol and stuff, and I actually got some really good stuff.
Yeah, but
So this,
Same.
you don't start getting them from grinding until you're level 20.
yeah.
I
So
don't think
this
you
this
get
was
them-
one of the
get them
best
at 20.
decisions. This is one of the best decisions that they made. In Destiny
Yeah.
1, you got a mode of light when you rolled over your level, and
Yes.
everybody's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, a mode of light, exactly, golf clap." Ah,
Like 5, I
okay,
think,
great.
but
Oh
You're
yeah,
like,
a package.
cool, I guess.
It was motes of light, and you didn't care because
It was 5.
you just
And I
tossed
cared.
them away. I never cared about the motes of light that I got. I'd see them pop up on the screen and be like, "Huh, random, I got motes of light." Now,
I feel like I had thousands of them.
yeah, now you see
Yeah.
a bright engram pop up, and
You're like,
it's
"Ooh, I'm going to the tower.
it's cosmetics. It's so
Yeah.
it's the best way that they could have done this
There's
because
more in there.
And now the
Yeah.
shaders work
There's
the
a
way
lot of
they
stuff.
do.
Can we talk about
oh,
shaders?
hold on.
Hefty.
Hold on. I want
Yeah,
to.
we're still
something
talking
on the
about
screen.
bright engrams. 'Cause
Now you're
it-
excited
bright
for bright engrams.
kidding.
Bright
Because
engrams
shaders.
come with more than just shaders. You can get
Yes.
shaders.
That
You
would
can get
be
shaders for your ships, for your
Streamlabs.
armor, for your weapons. You can also get ships,
Yes.
even exotic ships. You can get sparrows,
exotic sparrows. Yep.
and you can also get mods. You can get mods for
Lots of mods.
armor and for weapons.
And
So-
exotic mods.
So-
And exotic skins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this in my opinion is perfect because yes, if you do want to spend money to get extra bright engrams, you can. But if you don't want to spend the finances to try to, accelerate that, you can
get a lot of
grind
them
XP. You can do lots of farming. You run
Yeah,
tons of
no,
strikes.
for sure.
Anything that you're doing in the game that's giving you XP gives you the chance to be able to do that. I think it's such a good
brilliant.
decision.
It
is. Yeah.
Coming from someone who has spent a ton of money on cosmetic things in every game,
How much
I
money
can
did you drop
say-
on League? On League of
I don't
Legends?
know, probably like 3,000. Don't worry about it. So I spent a lot of money on
Yeah,
cosmetic
brag on me
things
for
in
Magic.
games, but I have not spent a dime on silver. That's how often I've been getting bright engrams, and I felt rewarded
Mhm.
and getting all of the stuff that I want. So I don't feel the need to do that right now.
The balance is nice for the average player that maybe wants that cool stuff but doesn't have a shitload of time to play and they want to accelerate that process. They can.
Yep.
For a person that grinds the crap out of the game, there is no reason for you to have to do that.
Yeah. And there's no pay to win in there. Sure, you can get
Nope.
some mods and stuff, but that's not going to suddenly allow you to beat the Nightfall.
And there's armor that drops, but the armor that drops, there's one set of armor in there, and it
It's
drops
level
at
10,
a,
yeah,
a
it's
level
power
10.
level
And you
10,
have
15,
to put
yeah.
you have to put a legendary into it
Yep.
to rank
To
it
make
up.
it useful. Yeah.
What do you guys think about the mods? So we finally know what the mod slot is for. What do you guys think?
We do.
Yeah.
I like that I can fully customize my build. So, for example, if I'm running Night Stalker, I can have something that makes my melee charge faster, all of my abilities charge faster, my grenade charge faster. And I really like that I can zero in on what I want to do. Plus, you can just decide I don't want to do any of that and have pure recovery, pure mobility.
Mhm.
I really like that you can fine tune your build. So I'm going to definitely have a bunch of different armor sets of here's my Night Stalker one, here's me full recovery, here's me with a bunch of armor. Like I'm going to want to make a bunch of armor sets. And I
You
think
can
that's
do it
awesome.
on the armor that you want to do it on. So if you
Exactly.
like cosmetically an armor,
Yes.
then you can customize that armor to do the effect, have
Yeah.
the effect that you want.
Yeah,
And
you can-
I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, you can have a very
And you can
specific
customize
build.
the color too.
You can have a very specific build with these mods that obviously
And they
was not
stack.
in. Yeah, they stack too. It wasn't in Destiny 1. That I think this is more interesting. I don't know the full reaches yet, so I can't say if I'm actually going to like it in the end game. Like right now, it's like,
Sure.
oh, this is really cool. I've barely done any stuff with the mods. I've got an armor that has a specific mod on there, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I've heard some mods even give like counterbalance on like kinetic weapons or something.
Yeah.
It's like
counterbalance.
increases stability on all
Yeah, that's
energy weapons.
That's very interesting. But again, I don't know how it's going to affect endgame once we've done the raid several weeks in and all that. So
Yeah.
I have like a rose-colored, ooh, this is so cool type of glass look at it right now.
Yeah.
But there could be some problems down the road.
I would say that with almost every discussion we're having, right? Aside from the campaign,
Yeah.
like with the strike playlist, with the patrols, like everything's got a new coat of paint. Everything's got that new car smell.
Mhm.
3 weeks down the road, 3 months down the road, are we still going to feel the same way about patrols? Are we still going to feel the same way about strikes? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But
You know
right
what
now, we're having a
really
ton of fun.
helps?
That's clear.
What really helps with that is the flashpoints.
Yeah.
Because flashpoints give you powerful engrams, which actually allows you to get significantly higher than the light that you have. So I think at least those flashpoints we're going to want to be doing for a while because we can get that really good scout rifle, that really good hand cannon, that really good helmet.
We haven't
gonna
been
last
able
for a
to
long
play
time.
one yet.
It's available right now.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
Flashpoint, it's just doing
You have to hit
public
level
events.
20, Pope.
Yeah.
It's European Dead Zone.
You unlock a quest
Right
to do
now.
a flashpoint, Pope, after you complete the campaign.
God damn it!
That's why
You're
I
gonna make
rushed
me
to
finish the
complete it.
campaign.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's why I
You
rushed
should-
to complete
so
it.
You should finish it.
so we talking about the mods before we like. There are some things that I'm concerned about, and I'm going to bring up one.
Do it.
All right. So this is kind of what concerns me a little bit. Here's a legendary armor mod for leg armor. Okay. And it's grenade recharge faster when using this ability class, right?
Mhm.
So when you're using an arc subclass, so you can stack them on top of other armor pieces. Like for example, I just had I grabbed the Mask of the Quiet One, right? It is grenades, grants melee, grenade, and a class ability energy when damaged. So you're taking damage, and
Pretty good.
you're producing ability, so you're recharging and it works really well. And void ability kills also give you your health. So that helmet alone, plus the legs, and then you can modify the chest and arms. How fast, given a specific build, how fast am I going to get my grenades if I stack them over
that's
three different
what
armor,
we got to wait
We
and
need
find out,
testing,
right?
yeah. We need
Right,
to
so
test the
that's all I'm
cooldown
saying
on
is
each
that I'm
mod
concerned
does.
about the direction. If I'm able to get that type of mod on each one of my armor pieces,
Yeah.
I'm getting. We're back to that
key,
point
though, Pope,
where,
is it's got to be balanced. Like, hopefully, it's balanced out to the point where you can build a grenade build where every time you kill somebody with a grenade, you get health back, and your grenades charge faster, and blah 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 blah. And somebody else who's running a kinetic weapon build with their hand cannon are going to be
stability.
They're going to be very satisfied with that build too, because they're doing. They got extra damage on their kinetic weapon. They got extra stability, and they feel like, I don't get grenades as often as you do, but I get twice as many precision kills as you do.
Right.
So as long as it's balanced, we'll have to see. Is there going to be a best one in the Crucible? Probably.
Yeah, I mean, they stack right now. Maybe there is a theoretical cap that they put in there, so you can't get past a certain cap.
Maybe,
but yeah, I agree. That's the concern for sure.
I mean, what was the worst point we were at in Destiny 1 with
right now?
grenade recharge. Was it like
end there?
Right at the end? It was like what, 10 seconds before you got your new grenade?
It
was
20.
It's just seconds. I'm just saying I don't want to get back. I hope there is a cap like that, and I know we don't know. But I'm just throwing it out there that
they're going to have to do some adjustments as time go by, as people discover
What about
things.
if you use Lucky Raspberry, where you throw a grenade, it hits them, and you get a grenade right back.
What?
Throw it again.
Is that how that works?
It doesn't do it all the time, but it gives you a chance to get a grenade back with each hit. So if you throw it into a group of people or mobs or whatever, each hit that it gets has a chance to instantly recharge your grenade.
Oh my
God. It happens very frequently.
This is a hunter-only perk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lucky Raspberry.
For Arc Strider, yeah.
There's we're getting into some armor pieces, I guess, and some. What have you guys?
That's cool.
It happens very frequently.
What have you guys?
Do we want to talk specifics about exotics? A lot of people don't know what the exotics are yet.
Before we do that, we should actually round out the conversation of Eververse and also talk about the shaders.
Sure.
Because
Here we go.
We kind of glossed over that.
And then we can get into spoilers in the second half.
We glossed over it. There's been a lot of strife, a lot of concern in the community about angst, how they've redone shaders. In Destiny 1, obviously, you had a shader. It was yours forever. You could pull it out of the collection. You could then apply it to your character, and that's it. Apply it on all of them. Now, shaders are one-time use, and usually get packs of 3 or 5, depending on like a chest or an engram or even Eververse. You get shaders for stuff. But you can also apply them to ships, sparrows, and weapons now, which is huge.
Yeah. Also,
the weapons
if you
look
have
good
a
too.
shader that looks awesome on your cape but ugly on your pants, you can mix and match those shaders to where you can get the look that you want.
That's a
mix and
huge
match.
improvement.
That is
I
huge.
really like that you can select which piece of equipment gets it,
Yeah.
as opposed to having to apply it to your whole
I
body.
saw people complaining about that it was too confusing.
So let's have an overall discussion. Like
maybe Mario's their game. Something a little simpler.
say whether you do or don't like the new system. I'll start off.
Okay.
I think it's a great system. I think it makes the hunt for cosmetics better. Because in Destiny 1, once you got the shader, it was like, oh, I got the shader. Once you got another God of War, it's like, oh, it's another God of War, whatever. This, when I get more shaders now of a certain type, I'm thinking, oh, great, I can apply it to other weapons that I really like down the road.
Yeah.
So I think personally it's a great system, and it's going to be better in the long run.
So the main points of contention here are that one, shaders are sold in Eververse. 2, they are single use. You cannot just get you get a new shader that you really like, and you can just apply it to everything. You can't do
It's like a coat of paint, kind of.
Yeah.
Coat of paint. Yeah.
You paint something. If you paint it again, you don't get that old coat of paint back.
Yeah. I totally see why people are, kind of mad about this because, there's like two or three shaders that I really like. I only have 5 charges of them so far. And, if I would like to apply it to, say, my ship, my sparrow, some of the other items that I know I'm going to be keeping, then I have to really think hard on that, and it's going to use them. And then I don't know when or if I'll get another ones. I don't know where I got some of these. I don't know if they were Eververse. So if they're Eververse ones, well, shit, do I have to like get more bright engrams? Am I gonna have to spend money on this to eventually get more?
Or level up XP?
Yes. Yeah. So it's. I totally understand why people. I feel like this system is pretty punishing to right now. Right now, it's definitely punishing because we're
when
going
we
through
put
gear.
2 days into the game.
Yeah.
Yes, when we are constantly getting a lot of new gear, we're constantly cycling through gear, so we don't really get a chance to use our shaders. Or if we use them, then maybe a piece of gear becomes quickly invalidated. You don't get that shader back from it. Right now, the flaws in the shader system are, or not flaws, but the shader system and the current gear economy do not work together at all. But if we give it about a month, maybe, where the people that are playing a ton are, getting their loadout set. They're starting to, kind of settle down in that. And they realize, I have a fuck ton of shaders now because literally every single activity gives me shaders.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be
And you're going to settle in on weapons and armor that you prefer. Right now, you've got, every piece of armor that comes in, you're basically equipping on your character to get to a higher light level. So you do, you take less damage, do more damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to continue. At some point, you're going to figure out what pieces that you actually like.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then
You're
going
gonna
to put
keep that
shaders
piece of
on
armor.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And you're going to
It's
infuse
like-
that armor, and you're not going to lose the shader that you put on there because you're going to keep on infusing it.
I get a legendary right now, and I have it equipped for an hour, and then it gets swapped out with something higher light level.
Mhm.
Exotics are a little different because right now with exotics, if you infuse an exotic, it actually goes up to a higher light level than the thing you infused it with. So
Sometimes.
yeah,
There's a chance for it to do that? I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's a
It-
high chance.
it
'cause
depends
It's happened every time
on-
I've done it.
It
Really?
depends on if you do it with an exotic, it's just like guaranteed chance. You can even infuse a lower level thing
That's what I
into
said.
your
Exotics. Yeah.
Yeah, in your exotics. You could do legendaries, and sometimes the legendaries are a lower level that you can infuse. But if it had a mod that increased the attack, like a legendary mod in it, it will increase the
Whoa,
level.
it worked. It went to 253 to 258 on a helmet.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yo.
Yeah,
I would
so
say
it's a nice
wait,
way to
wait,
level up too, because you can
explain
keep
that
those
again.
exotics
Just-
kind of rolling.
Just repeat that again.
Oh,
One
okay.
more time.
So for mods, or for not mods, for leveling up anything in the game with the infusion, exotics can really benefit from being leveled up. It's not like 1-to-1 in Destiny 1. If you put in, say, a same level thing, it's going to most likely it's going to infuse up to a higher level than what it,
Oh.
what the
That's crazy.
item you're infusing it to. And
So
even
for instance,
you can,
for instance,
can-
if you have a helmet, an exotic helmet that's at 160 light, and you have a legendary helmet that's at 170 light, then you can infuse the 170 light legendary helmet into your exotic helmet, and you might get 175 light. out
So
of it.
this literally just
Wow.
happened. My exotic was 105. It was the one that I got. It's Eye of the Another World on my Warlock, the hot box helmet. And then I had I had a legendary helmet that was 253. I infused that into the 105 helmet, and it became 258.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
may
That's
go up
pretty
to
awesome.
5. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
also the look at the base power, I think, of the things. Sometimes if there's like a mod in it, it'll increase even higher. It's kind of weird. There's one more thing. Fuck, can't remember. Whatever. I'm
It's cool.
lacking sleep.
So it's
Oh.
it's good to keep it. In the past,
It might be because
whenever
of the mod.
I've been in the grind for upgrading or for leveling up fast, I leave the exotics behind until the end because I don't want to use up all my legendary marks and stuff. But now it actually feels worth it because if you keep building up your exotic, it kind of stays as like your highest
So
power level item.
So-
if you keep
sorry to cut you off, Briar, but we should clarify this. Apparently, it's because the mod inherently is in there, impact absorption
Yes.
mod, which gives +5
Yeah.
defense. Does that count towards your light? That +5 defense?
I believe so.
Does it? Okay. If it does, then that's a nice way of getting a boost. If it doesn't, then we're incorrect in saying you're getting a boost when you level that thing up. Well, actually, we are incorrect saying it. It's because it would have just gone to
Well, I
253.
infused a blue into mine and it went to a higher level.
It does? Okay.
Yeah. So
That sounds really cool. It sounds.
Pretty cool.
It sounds. Did you guys? We didn't talk about this yet, but the glimmer cap.
Yeah. 100K.
999.
I'm forever at the Glimmer Cap.
You're what?
I'm always at the Glimmer Cap. I've been at the Glimmer Cap since level, I want to say 15.
Yeah.
I'm like,
What have I been
Better
spending all my
specs
glimmer
glimmer.
on?
Yeah,
I literally grinded patrols for 9 hours before doing the story. So I
Oh, okay.
have a lot of Glimmer.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
gonna
A lot of
it's
glimmer,
gonna,
for
it's
sure.
gonna suggest to me my next mission. I need to be a level 7,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm level 20. Like something.
I don't know, Pope. You might have to bring it back up.
I just want to talk about the shader thing really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am one or two.
So I think to begin with, it's like, what the hell, man? I have this really ugly mismatched armor. I want to throw a shader on here. It's really cool. I don't want to lose it. But I think for the long run, I think in the long run, I'm going to prefer it because it gives me that thing of, I got 2 shader drops from Trials. Oh my God, this is awesome. It gives me that extra thing to keep going for it, to keep grinding for. And that's what I really want from Destiny, is that extra thing to keep going. So then I can be like, oh my God, I finally have this shader on my ship and my gun and my armor and everything. But yeah, I think in the short term, it's going to suck for a lot of people because if you're not playing much, you probably are not getting a ton of shaders. But you do get a lot of shaders for just playing the game.
You do. You get a ton of them, and then you start getting the ones from the bright engrams once you start leveling up, or once you start, leveling up past level 20s. You don't actually gain any more levels, but you start getting bright engrams every time you
Which
click
have
over
cool
to a new
drops in
level.
it.
Yeah.
And
They do have
so,
cool drops.
So I'm also gonna say my piece about the shader thing. I understand where the collectors they want to see their collections fill up, and it feels like they're maybe Destiny 2 is taking away some of the options that you have to collect, and I could see those people being kind of disappointed in that way. There's also been some people critiquing the shader issue as another example of pay to win, or not pay to win, but that
cash grab.
Eververse type cash grab.
The pay to win is for the mods.
No,
I
yeah.
believe, in the Eververse store, which is
And
completely invalidated by the fact that you can go to the gunsmith and just pay glimmer. You're done.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say that, but yeah, you're right. So
Sorry.
the next piece of that is the shader piece. I would feel that was the case if you literally did not get them from everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been playing and I've got so many of them, so many different shaders, and they're really fun and easily accessible to go through. And I'm with you, Watts. I don't want my helmet, arms, chest, and legs all to be the same color. I think the shaders now are much more specific in their color schemes, and there's more of them, and you can take them and you can mix and match and make them what you want. And I feel like the flexibility that it's given me to customize my character, and the fact that it's a consumable makes it rare, makes it worth going and finding, and takes you out into the world to go explore with your friends. And where did you get that shader? Oh, I got that shader doing this. And what I'm noticing is specific shaders come from specific activities.
They do.
On specific planets.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
they do.
Weapons and armor drop with specific shaders depending on the planet you're on.
Yeah.
And the mods too. Like you can get the ship mods. I have one that spawns me in a void light ball. When you spawn in, it kind of has a cool effect. Those are some of the legendary ones. There's one that gives you a taken effect when you spawn in.
Yep.
That one's
I
really
have a
cool.
hive effect right now. I
Yeah,
don't know how I
that's
feel
neat.
about the hive, but it's
There's
there for now.
lots of words.
All I'm saying is that anytime with a game like this, that's a social community game, and the thing that I've always loved, you guys all sort of rolled your eyes when I talked about RNG being the loss of RNG being a downside for me from Destiny 1 to 2 because you have great RNG. No, the reason why I liked RNG is because it increased the communication that you have with your fire team and your friends and the excitement and joy of the game. I like how shaders are because it gives another introduction of that same theme where you say, hey, Watts, dude, where did you get that shader? And you're saying, oh, well, I got it on Nessus doing this. You want to go? Sure, let's go.
Yeah.
And then you go and you do it and you're going to get it. I like that.
I like it too.
It adds a carrot on a stick, right?
It does.
Just
Gets
one
you
more
out
thing
into
to
the
go
world.
chase. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
I do
say-
like carrots on sticks.
Yeah, let's say they do an event and they happen to drop a new set of weapons and you go and collect those weapons. Suddenly you're thinking, oh, well, I would like to apply that one shader to this weapon that I got. I should go farm more of it because I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's an interesting loop that if they made it so you never had to go get those shaders again, it's an immediate check off for you to never go and do those things again. If
Sure.
there was a shader directly linked
That's
to
very
an event,
true.
yeah, you're not
Right.
going to
Yeah,
want to
no,
go
I
get those
agree with you
anymore.
on that. Like when Iron Banner comes out, which I'm sure we'll talk about later.
Mhm.
When Iron Banner comes and you have your arm set and you're good to go, and then Iron Banner comes, you get new arm, you're like, oh man, I really want to put this shader that I have on there. I'm gonna go grind out there and go grind some more shaders. It does kind of keep you in the loop, like you said, Tefty, of always getting a new thing. Okay, I want that shader, so you go grind the shader, and it just gives you something to keep going for.
Yeah.
And one of those things where I'm sitting there grinding the strikes, right? One of the reasons why I have so many of these mods and stuff like that is sitting in that playlist. You go to every planet,
Mhm.
and you're getting those tokens for
Mhm.
every planet,
Yeah.
and you're getting experience on each one of those planets, and you're getting shaders from each one of those planets. So when I go back to the farm and I turn in my tokens, I'm getting more specific loot from those planets.
How many tokens is it, or how many times do you think you got to run strikes to like level up that faction?
It's something like 30 tokens, I believe, to level up the faction.
Is it 30? I thought it was less than that. But
Wait. It might be
20
it might be,
something.
It's 20 something, right? Yeah.
It's close.
Okay,
It's,
I can't
it's
remember.
20
Some
and
factions-
30.
If you have
Okay,
20,
I
you
think some
definitely
have,
get like
10. Okay.
Yeah, it might be different
And-
per faction. You know, something that we didn't talk about is what we think about there being so many factions now. There's planetary factions.
I love it.
Yeah. There's
factions-
gunsmith
okay,
factions.
so this is a big
Yeah.
difference. This is a big difference between Destiny 1 and 2. Is there were factions in Destiny 1 that I couldn't care less about.
Had no, yeah, be like,
True.
whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
They give me loot if I level up, so I'll keep leveling them up. In Destiny 2, the factions have personalities. They are like people who you have talked to and fought with and, interacted with.
Whoa. I don't know that yet, Briar.
Have you not unlocked IO?
I'm still doing the story, guys.
Did you not unlock
All right.
IO yet?
Anyhow,
Come on.
anyhow, like there is the factions to me feel like something tangible as opposed to just this nebulous concept that if you read the grimoire, maybe you would kind of understand what they are. And that's a big difference.
Yeah.
So we don't know. We know something very interesting on. Everybody gets mad at me when I say this. Yeah, I'm going to call it the thwab, all right? It's the thwab to me.
Oh,
The
okay. Yeah.
thwab.
Yeah.
Thwab?
Ooh,
There's-
it's
Instead of
exciting.
Thwab?
There
There's
is
some
some
exciting
really
news in there.
exciting stuff on
Expi-
this.
Thwab.
Do you guys want to go through that?
Yeah, I
Right.
think we should.
All right.
Yeah, go for
All right, so in the TWAB this week, it gives us basically the activities that are going to be available for the next 4 weeks. And this week is launch week. It tells us, the Nightfall is the arms dealer. The Flashpoint is on the European Dead Zone.
Mhm.
Next week, we get the Nightfall on the Inverted Spire, which is the strike that was in the beta.
Yep.
Nightfall guided games beta begins as well. So we're gonna get our first peek at guided games in the Nightfall. The Flashpoint will be on Nessus. The Leviathan raid launches. Trials of the Nine begins with Countdown on Eternity. And Zur returns with a selection of exotics. So we won't get a Zur this week, but we will get one in week 2.
And I was a little disappointed on that piece.
Zer's selling exotics still.
He's selling exotics.
In week 3, the Nightfall will be on Exodus Crash. Flashpoint will be on Io. Trials of the Nine will be Survival on Altar of the Flames. So it looks like they're gonna.
That's cool.
Rotating
Yeah.
game modes and rotating maps.
That's great.
Well, obviously not
Yes.
in that week, but it goes survival countdown.
That's
But-
cool.
That's
Well, next
mixes it up.
week 4 is Survival too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then Zura comes back, and then week 4, I think this is really interesting.
Yeah, this
so we get
is-
the Nightfall, we get the Flashpoint on Titan, we get the Leviathan raid guided games beta. So the guided games will get added to the
the
Leviathan raid.
Mhm.
Then faction rally, and there's a picture of Dead Orbit,
New Monarchy.
Future War Cult, and New
New
Monarchy.
Monarchy. You didn't even
So
know. the
everybody's
names.
asking right now. We've got a ton of
like,
questions.
what does that mean?
Faction rally
What
begins.
does that mean?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Well,
this is the
there's
first
something
event.
happening. What do you guys think this is? What is a rally?
Don't you think it's
It
like the
sounds like an
first
event.
official event?
It's like, yeah, like what
Does
Tefty
sound
said.
like
It
it could be
seems
an
like
event.
an event. Like maybe the factions aren't going to be there for us all the time. We just get
Well,
it
what
like
kind of
once a
event?
month,
I would
and we
love
get to
that.
grind for future war cult weapons and dead orbit weapons and armor that's not there all the time.
There could be a brief like a battle of the factions, possibly even a war.
A faction
That
war.
would be
Right.
amazing.
Well,
I don't know
yeah.
if that's what it is. I don't want to get my hopes up.
We know there's
But-
faction armor and weapons because we've seen them in
Yes.
trailers. Like
Yes.
there's
Yep.
definitely faction like, and when I talk factions in this sense, I'm talking about Future War Cult, New Monarchy, and Dead Orbit. I'm talking about those specific factions. We've seen gear in the trailers with those logos on it, so we know it's out there.
So what if they did it where during this event they pick where each one of these factions are going to be on the destinations, and you go and earn Future War Cult tokens on that planet?
Yeah, I've seen Future War Cult. They have a lounge in the tower already with like
They
the
do.
Men in Black ball chairs
They
that
do.
you
Yes,
can go
they
sit
do.
in.
You have to get into it.
Interesting.
Yeah, by
So-
walking through the front door.
The word
there's
rally,
another
I think,
lounge.
is the word rally. I think is really interesting here because to
We'll
me,
talk about that, I guess.
it doesn't sound like a war. It sounds like a pep rally. It sounds like, to me, my impression is going to be something where everybody selects their faction, and then every activity they do for the week is going to
That makes more
You know,
sense. Yeah.
go to the total points of that faction, and then at the end of the week, everybody, all the points are totaled. Maybe you get to see like a sliding scale as it goes,
Mm-hmm.
and then whoever's in, like, if Future War Cult has like the most faction points, everybody who pledged their allegiance to Future War Cult for the week gets a prize.
Yeah. I think that would be awesome. It's interesting
That would be
thinking
cool.
about if they do these timed events. It's like Iron Banner, but like a timed event for PvE where you go and earn these rewards that are only available during then. Because in Destiny 1, it was like, New Monarchy might have a good gun or something like that. Blah, 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 blah. I kind of care less. If they're limited time and you don't know what's going to show up, same thing with the
Yeah.
gear. That's awesome. Also, shaders,
It's really fun.
Right.
Shaders.
emblems, limited
And then-
time.
How much more connection do you feel toward your faction if you're literally trying to get your faction to win the rally, right?
Maybe
You're
we also
literally-
get like a little story thing to kind of let us know
Yeah.
what their mission is, or like a little cutscene before you pick which faction you want to choose.
Could
but
definitely
you're
see that.
bonding with the other people in your faction trying to do better. You're
Mhm.
trying to do better than the other factions, right? If Pat's with the Dead Orbit and Tefty's with New Monarchy and I'm with Future War Cult, I'm going to be trying to get my, I
Here's
forgot
what's-
which one I was.
Here's what's going to
Future War
happen.
I'm going to be
Good to
trying
see your
get my
loyalty
Future
there,
War
brother.
Cult brothers to do better, to do more
A real
strength,
treasure
win more
to
crucible
the
matches.
cult you are.
Right. Is I'm going to be trying to rally my crew so that we win the rally at the end and get whatever that prize is.
You're going to be seeing a lot of people post on social media or in
Mhm.
the looking for games, the LFG groups, looking for a Future War Cult brothers to go do this. I think
Right.
that it's going to encourage the community feel for selfish reasons, but
That's
definitely,
interesting.
definitely you're going to see those people trying to rally.
And
Maybe that's where that term came from. Rally to the cause, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
what if there was faction-specific exotics that got unlocked?
That's what I'm talking about. That's
Woo.
absolutely would get me to get out there and get people going.
Suddenly, I
And
care
possibly-
way more about those factions.
Yeah, and possibly like you have to grind up the factions, then you can like bail on them after you get your sweet loot.
Right.
That's what I do.
It's like what's that game called? Splat. What's that Nintendo
Splatoon.
game? Splatoon.
Platoon,
Where they do like
Splat
they'll have like a
Fest.
special event like ketchup versus
mustard.
mustard, and then you pick a team and then you fight it out, and all the points are totaled. Like every time somebody wins a match as ketchup, it adds 1 point to the total, and at the end, you get a special prize if your team wins.
Yeah.
Suddenly
down.
you
I like
care about your
all of this.
faction allegiance.
Yeah. I like all of this.
I mean, I'm going to
Yeah,
have
this-
a faction on each character. Like I said, I always have New Monarchy's my Titan, Future World Cult's my Hunter, and Dead Orbit's
What
my...
if it's a
What if it's
a
count-based
count-based?
FD?
They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't.
So you can't cheese the system.
I don't think they would do that. I think they would make it so it's per character. Your per character has a faction alliance.
I hope it's not. I hope it's account based because otherwise you're just cheesing the system.
I'm okay with cheese.
No, it'd
I
be
like
how
cheese.
much time you spent on each character.
No, you're gonna you
No, 'cause
would
you win.
basically hedge your bets.
Yeah, you're hedging your bet.
Okay.
You're definitely gonna win that week.
There
because-
was effectively a thing like that in PlanetSide 2, where they're like, hey, whichever faction at the end of the week has more points, you got it by like getting kills and capturing things. They get a special in-game item, and it was usually like a bunch of XP boosts and some other skins and stuff. And what ended up happening was people were like, "What faction's winning?" Okay, that's the one I'm playing this week. So
I got a question for you guys. Is DCP ready to endorse a faction?
No.
yeah.
Are we ready to throw the
Definitely
weight of the
not.
Destiny Community
We will,
podcast
we
behind
will.
a faction?
Briar,
No.
we
Like
have
a
enough.
newspaper
No.
We
endorsing
have
a
enough
candidate for
strife on this
presidency?
podcast. We have enough strife on this podcast already. There's a good chance that all five of us have a different faction pick.
All right, at the count of
The
three,
DCP logo is red.
say which one you would do.
I already
One.
said it's on per
I don't
character.
know
No,
yet.
the first
I don't know
one.
yet. Though,
No,
but
I
don't
have
know.
no first one. It depends on what
I don't
character I
know.
am.
Oh.
Future War Cult's always got them good weapons, though. Remember when
Future
in the
War Cult
beginning
has
of
good
Destiny?
weapons?
Do you remember in the beginning of Destiny 1 where they had the best setup for hunter gear?
Yeah.
Like they had the intellect discipline. It was perfect.
It was
and then they
perfect.
had
It's been dead.
all the
Orbit or
PvP
nothing, man.
hunters were Future War Cult.
The black and white Dead
The
Orbit.
but yeah, I was Dead Orbit from the beginning because the black.
Dead Orbit is a great pick if you wear a trench coat to school and you have long hair that hangs in front of your eyes and you only listen to music that makes you sad.
So me like a
Dead
year
Orbit
ago.
was right though.
Yeah, I don't want to dress like
Dead
a
Orbit
clown
was
or
great.
somebody that's got a red fetish, you know? Anyway,
Oh my god.
There was
It's-
also something else in the Thwob.
What's that?
Coming in October is Iron Banner.
Ooh.
Iron Banner.
Iron Banner is returning.
Yes, it is.
I didn't read that, Watts. What did they say
It's
anything
right next
specific
to
about
the
it?
image. And then it says coming in October, right? It should be writing
okay.
right underneath, yeah.
God, so exciting. Ah.
And new ways
I-
to have your prestige tested in the raid. So the prestige mode for the raid as well in
Yes.
October.
Yep.
Yep.
That sounds like fun, man. I
Prestige?
wonder.
Mhm. Yeah, there's the Nightfall has a prestige mode where it's a high. I think there's another modifier on it, and then it's light level 300 instead of 240.
I did not know about this at all.
You think they're gonna have a whole nother
This
set
is
of
this
of
was in that
armor?
spoiler explosion that me and you are completely avoiding.
Holy crap. So there's different tiers of Nightfall right now?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, gotta go to the Nightfall.
Ooh.
What are you doing after this,
Dude.
Hefty?
Grinding. Friggin'
You
know,
should try to run the Nightfall after you're like
270.
265 ish.
265, 270. Doesn't factions cap at 265?
Yes.
Has anybody? Do
legendary
we know a
engram.
cap? Do we know?
Okay,
a-
there's a lot of numbers floating around right now, but there's some
Okay.
weird inconsistencies with the loot. I've heard to like 260. I think 260 is the max for blues, but then I've been getting them up to 265.
It's
At least
after
right now.
after you get past a certain light level, you can then start getting blues that go above 260.
Okay, it's really weird because then like the tower things were capped at like 265, but then I'm starting to get them at 270 now as
What
well.
light level are you?
270.
Yeah, okay.
So like that's the highest light that I
It
can
seems
get.
to
It's
always
really
be
slow.
after you get past 265, it seems that everything pretty much is dropping at your light level or slightly below in terms of like faction and legendary
Can I
engrams.
see your light? Can you put in your real light level in the chat? I want to see people where they at and kind of get a sense of what people are doing. So I'm gonna put mine in. And just put your light level in. What is it, Tepti? Over 9,000? 420? All right. Well, yeah, man. There's a lot of people that are not Nightfall or Raid ready, even close.
Oh yeah, the game came out 2 days ago or yesterday.
It's not been long.
Yeah.
It's like not been long at all.
It has not.
Do you have a job? Do you have a family? You're
I
probably
do.
not ready.
You are probably not ready. Oh man,
I
that's great.
am really excited to see what they did with Iron Banner though, because
Yes,
with all the changes
same.
they brought to Destiny 2, I don't think it's just going to be the exact same thing. So
All right, Holtzmann,
no.
everybody
Yeah.
gets that 69 is funny.
I'm sorry, I
I'm
have this
excited.
new quiet keyboard and I'm able to type and
Oh,
you guys can't
boy.
hear
Oh,
it.
Ornata?
Razer sent me the Black Widow tournament 10 kilos. So it's got doesn't have the number pad on it. It's super.
Oh.
does it have
What's the
orange
switches?
clicky?
Yeah.
It has orange.
Those
Razer
are the
oranges.
ones that I'm using. They're
I know
nice.
they're really great. They're not loud as shit like Watts over there.
Okay,
Sound like she's.
listen.
Watts, you should
One day
consider
maybe
going
I'll
from
get it.
greens to oranges.
I will think about it.
It sounds like you're like beating up a bunch of Legos. You know, you're like,
Watts just like you just come over and try the keyboard. You know, you can get
They
I'm
still
telling
feel
you,
tactile. It's just you don't have the
they're gonna
loud
be mad at me.
pronunciation.
If people in my stream cannot hear the clicky clacks, people are gonna be really upset.
You've been
I'm
doing a
sure.
good job so far muting your microphone when you're typing. So, but I'm telling you, people here are gonna be really mad if they hear that shit.
Nope. It's part of my charm.
Oh, my
Uh,
part
gosh.
of her charm.
You know what else is a part of the charm of this podcast? These
What's that?
wild mics and headphones. Just some of the iconic gear that Blue creates. Blue's award-winning products are the driving force behind professional musicians, internet creators, and countless elite gaming teams and Twitch streamers. Their Yeti USB mic is the internet's most popular microphone, and their MoFi and Lola headphones deliver insane sound and a very personalized fit. Blue offers everything you need to completely immerse yourself in the ultimate gameplay experience. Learn more about Blue at bluemic.com.
Nailed it.
Woo.
Nicely done.
Hey, and
We got something special to share tonight, Pipe.
Yes,
Pope,
before
right?
we
Yeah.
get into the Twitter questions.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Set it up, Pope.
Daddy Fat Snaps and I got together, and if you aren't familiar with, if we can put a link to Daddy Fat Snaps YouTube channel, he is he's a rapper for video game lore and stuff like that. I'm surprised if you haven't heard him, but definitely go subscribe to his channel. I reached out to him and I said, "Hey, do you want to do something special for the podcast? We're going to be talking about Destiny 2. It's a cool podcast. I want to have something to celebrate it." And we talked about having Cade 6 kind of do a diss track, you know, and just have Cade 6 jump in there and throw one down and talk some smack about everything, whatever's on his mind. So none of these guys have heard the song yet. They're going to be hearing it for the same time at the same time you guys do. There's a little something special at the in there just for them. So I really want to thank Daddy Fat Snaps for working with me. We spent a couple weeks on this, and he did a great job with everything. And so, without further ado, let's roll it.
Tell us when to hit the play button, Tafty.
All right. I will let you know.
Give us a countdown.
3, 2, 1. Play button.
I'm about to shoot some stuff. Things might get a little rough. I'm rolling in my XO. Let's go, serious face.
K6, dropping mad verses. Superhero on the battlefield, nearly perfect. Got your boy Gall feeling nervous when the golden gun surfaces. About to wrangle in these circuses. Put your turtles in a line, only nourishes and makes it even quicker to restore golden furnaces. Shutting down the services, tell me what your purpose is. Oh, you're taking the light back on my track? Hell no, what you think? We ain't gonna fight back? Had the crew pushing daisies, maybe lilacs. Up creek with a paddle and a kayak. Swimming like a salmon with the fire team on my back. Unpredictable, some would say that I'm a wild card. Bruce Willis told me to chill, I told him die hard. Bad boy, swimming in the deep without a lifeguard. Charging through your lines like I'm riding on a Reinhardt. You're a kindergarten, you gotta use caution. Baby steps first thing, grab me some ramen. Grab a GoPro, take videos and drop them on the internet and tag others so they watch them. You're thinking it's a waste of your time, you should be training. You're learning from the best, it doesn't need explaining. Hold the camera tight, no arguing or debating. But Destiny 2 footage is waiting. Chorus.
Now I'm about to shoot some stuff. Things might get a little rough. I'm rolling in my XO. Let's go, serious face. And I'm about to lose my head. Everyone in this place gonna wind up dead now. I'm rolling in my XO. Let's go, serious face.
Wait, there's another verse, man, I only wrote one. Well, I'll go off the top of the dome, a shotgun on the mic. How can he lead? He's outrageous, I might be, but I lead some dope rampages. Zavala might not agree, style unorthodox, miss shots, neither out of ammo in their storage box. not a yes man. I'm a little different. Complete the mission looking magnificent and belligerent. Confident as all hell. Some will say I'm ignorant. The same ones will thank me when a predicament strikes. You really think they care that you're innocent? I'm crazy, but a good guy. See the difference? So lock and low, better have your underwear. Maybe check if you still have cojones under there. And if you see me out there, recognize greatness. Legendary, beautiful, but you can call me K6.
Now I'm about to shoot some stuff. Things might get a little rough. I'm rolling in my XO. Let's go, serious face. And I'm about to lose my head. Everyone in this place gonna wind up dead now. I'm rolling in my XO. Let's go, serious face.
Firstly, verse 3 showing no mercy. Quirky, but I will your team out on a gurney. Metal dome piece. You think that you can hurt me? Bow to a boss. No, better yet, curtsy. DCP called with an invitation and thought that they were safe from this brutal situation. Dissing everybody. Gotta start with Patrick on some honey nuts. Obsessed, really tragic. Then you got Watts, Destiny, Fashionista. Style over function, what a first class diva. Oh my hefty. He can't even play the game. He's like, how can I play when I'm dropping frames? And what about Briar, the warlock liar? Day one Titan abandoned for a glider. And what can I say about Pope Bear? Easy, he's got a great beard and his RNG's dreamy. Oh, another one. Another amazing recording session by K6. Hey, Pope, what you think about it, man? What do you think? That go too hard on him? You know, you don't think I went hard enough? I mean, I know when you came to me with this plan, I mean, I thought I laid into him, you know? Oh, did you not cut the mic? Somebody cut the mic, please. Cut it. Hey everybody, it's Daddy Fat Snaps. Remember, you can always listen to my music on the go using Spotify. I'll constantly be uploading to here and iTunes, so make sure that you follow me. Thank you so much for the love, everybody.
Awesome.
And yeah, have a good
Daddy
one.
Fat Snaps. Nice job, man. That was
great.
awesome.
That was really good. Thank you so much, Daddy Fat Snaps. That was really good. That was awesome.
Man, that roast
Yeah.
though. Why didn't Pope get roasted?
Yeah, that's.
That's crazy. I mean, I don't know.
Did you hear the video? We had a conversation. There was a mic that was hot that we forgot to cut it at the end.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know why, man. I told him to roast me, but Cade 6 is just he and I like see eye to eye.
Is that how it was?
Suspicious.
I was like,
Very
you know what?
suspicious.
So there's no reason why I should be left out of this roasting, and apparently there's nothing to make fun of me about.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
There might be a future roasting in your future.
Are we starting the diss tracks?
There might be.
You know what?
There
diss
could be
track?
possibly something in the future.
You know what?
There wasn't a proper there wasn't a proper displacement of dissing on that track.
Yeah, all he could find out, all he could discover about me is that my RNG's dreamy and my my beard is just.
Is your RNG still dreamy, Pope?
It's pretty damn good.
I think we were recalling at the start of the podcast here about how I might be top dog in the RNG game right now.
I think you are.
Interesting.
You know what? I've got some pretty good stuff, man. I might say that the Mask of the Quiet One is pretty damn sexy.
That thing is awesome looking.
That thing looks so good.
Yeah.
It's probably honestly like I know Patrick, you've got some really good stuff, and I'm not gonna. But literally, that helmet is the first Titan helmet that actually looks badass. Well, there's a couple others that have been cool.
But this one is like, whoa.
This one's whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I do have to say, when I was at PAX, which, by the way, we never got to talk about that because it was like in between the last podcast and this one. PAX was fantastic. If you guys got a chance to go, I know you had a great time. I was walking around the last day, and I literally found RNGesus. he was upstairs playing Galaga on one of the arcade machines.
Nice.
And it was like a dude looked like Jesus in a bathrobe with like just a sign RNGesus. I'm like, fucking found him, man.
That's great.
I knew it.
Found him. So all joking aside, I hope you guys
that was great.
You guys liked it.
That was fantastic.
Awesome.
I've been hinting that I was gonna drop something during the this podcast that I just wanted to say, like, honestly, my experience from Destiny 1, the things that reminded me of Destiny 1 and that transition into Destiny 2, a lot of my most fond memories have been, hanging out with you guys and talking to you guys and looking forward to this every week. So, on the internet, you can't say, I thank you very much for all that. But so in true geek nerd form,
You did a diss track.
Toss a diss track, yeah.
Construct a diss track. So
no, I get it.
Yeah. So screw you guys.
Whether you wanted to or not, you've entered in a war with your Destiny Community Podcast brethren.
All right, and bring it on. I'm not afraid. You can't touch me.
Let's just say it may not be Patrick being roasted in the next raid we play together.
Oh.
Well, really, golden gun's way more useful nowadays. So
yeah, it is
true,
right.
actually.
Guys, we have a shitload of Twitter questions.
Yeah,
let's start with it.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, the Mohegan 9 says, "What is the most orbs you've been able to make from your super?" Patrick,
golden gun. I think I was able to make like 8 with mine. That was like hitting Actually, no. Yeah, most orbs I think is either 8 or 9. If you kill something with a precision shot with that subclass, you'll make an orb. Plus, you'll get 2 for it being a precision shot. So I think it goes up to 9. However, I'm going to answer from my friend Laughing Cheerio here because
with the pants.
Because he's got the pants.
He's got the pants. I was jealous.
Orpheus rig.
By the way,
Night Stalker pants, and for every basically when you shoot your tether, you don't use the quiver block. You have to use the top one, I think. You shoot your tether. For every enemy that it tethers, it gives you super energy back. So you
just ability in general.
Yeah, and abilities.
That sounds pretty good.
And abilities. So you would be
really
like
good.
tether. Hit 8 things with the tether. I have my super again. Here, let me toss another tether. So he was swooping orbs. Like Gunslinger had nothing on that type of orb generation.
Wow.
I can't wait.
It's great
in
to
the
see
raid,
the void.
me and you, Patrick, we're gonna orb it up. I'm gonna Night Stalker. You're gonna Golden Gun. We're gonna orb it up.
I'm gonna pew pew.
It's really great to see the orb. The I always thought the void energy ones were the best to produce orbs. I really good to see the Sentinel. I mean, the max I've been able to produce is, I believe, 7 with the Sentinel,
and that's
pretty good.
Which is pretty good. And it's not, and you don't have to use your. As a Titan, you could produce 11 or 14 in D1, 14 in D1 with a bubble. So with the Word of Dawn, you could produce 14. Yeah. Sometimes actually up to 18, depending on what your build is. But with this one, I'm kind of not as orb friendly as supporting, but what they're requiring me to do is work with another character and team up, right?
Yeah.
To create those.
In Destiny 1, the Titan, it felt like raids were just easier if you had a Defender Titan around. And I feel like they spread some of that utility across the subclasses a little bit. So now you still want that bubble around to run and hide in. But now you want a Warlock around to get your health back or to allow for more damage. And you want a Hunter around to give you either more damage with the tether or orbs so that everybody else can use their super around. It feels like everybody's getting that spread utility, and your fire team's going to have to work together to create orbs to make sure that everybody's got their supers when they need them, because maybe you want to pop a tether against mobs so that you have a Ward of Dawn to take damage against the boss. Like, we don't know what the raid's going to look like, but it's going to be interesting, like how that utility has really changed.
So anybody? Oh, we got. Is it 2 Titans and 2 Hunters?
Yeah,
we have a really good team actually.
So
right, I'm gonna be a Void Titan.
Nobody has been a Void Warlock yet, and you guys haven't.
I was playing with CC
in the
Kuhn.
beta.
You guys haven't experienced Devour.
Devour.
No, not really.
Tell us.
Devour might be the first thing that actually gets on a chopping block, and I really hope it doesn't because it is insane. Unbelievably powerful. Okay. Devour, when you trigger it, the first way of triggering Devour is by slapping an enemy with your melee ability. And this is the bottom skill tree on Voidwalker. If you do that, there's a countdown that starts that's 9 seconds, and you immediately get all your health back. Not a delay, not a, it's a immediate. All your health is
Must
immediately
be nice.
restored. Okay,
Must be
then
nice.
the countdown starts on that. The 9-second countdown for Devour. If you get a kill, any kill, doesn't matter how, energy weapon, whatever, you can melee again without a melee charge or just regular, grenades, anything. It will reproc Devour within that 9 seconds and then cause another 9-second cooldown. So your health goes completely back to 100%. And you could be on your deathbed, get a kill at the last second, and then be 100% health again. And it re-chains it constantly. So you might be thinking, oh, well, you have to get a melee kill to start this, right? So it's not really broken or anything. And no, it's not broken. Please don't nerf it.
No, we don't use that word around here.
No.
I'm not getting that
Let's
at all
say-
from what you're saying so far.
No,
Tim.
Let's
not
say-
at all. It seems
Do
very
continue.
balanced.
Let's say you're running around, you're getting just annihilated by all kinds of Cabal artillery coming from the sky, and you're like, oh god, it's looking bad. I don't have my pool of lights. What should I do? Maybe I should just eat my nade. You eat your nade, it procs Devour. And
Nice.
then you can just begin shooting all the trash mobs and
And
constantly healing
instantly
yourself.
you get your health, full health from
Every
eating the
single
grenade.
time you get your grenade causes Devour, you get a full health, and then every ad that you kill, you get immediate full health. So you,
That doesn't sound. That
So
sounds. Totally
imagine
down.
in PvP, right? You're 1v4. Maybe you pulled out a shotgun and you're like, I'm a little low. Let me eat my grenade. Instantly full health. Shotgun the other guy, full health. Shotgun the other guy, full health. So you're saying I can become the true shotgun warrior with Devour.
but it's kind of, I don't want to say it.
It's
I
really
don't want to
good.
say it.
Don't
It's
say it.
really
Tim.
good.
Don't say it.
Oh, it's so good,
Just-
guys. The
Just say it's really,
survivability,
really, really good.
the
It's
survivability
better
with
than
Warlock.
everything else. It's on a different level.
No, it's the same. It's just at the top.
It's on the same
also,
list.
killing things
it's just a little higher.
Killing things also recharges your nade quickly as well. So if you do happen to run out of 10 seconds and not get the kill, you could then just be like, "Oh, I got another nade." Woo! Yeah, I'm back to
I'm
Devour.
really hoping to get a Warlock raid ready for.
Oh,
Like,
I'm
I
making
really
a
hope
warlock
we get a
right now.
warlock.
Literally,
I'm
as
so-
we're talking.
I'm so glad I can dodge and reload my weapon.
Guys,
I had
the
so
only
much
reason
fun.
the
I'll
only
tell you,
reason I am a Warlock.
Warlocks are so much fun in PvP and in PvE
It's true.
too. Like they nailed Warlocks. I
Blink
think, this
Blink
time
is
around.
exceptional. I love me some Blink.
It
The
really
only
is
reason
good.
I am a
I
Warlock.
like it much better than I liked it in Destiny 1.
The only reason I'm a Warlock is because CC Kuhn was the top donator for the kids during my DCP
For the kids.
during my Guardian Con charity block. So he picked the Warlock life, and I was a little disgruntled about it, but now I'm pretty happy. Gotta say,
Wow,
pretty happy.
I am
Steve Kuhn's been
literally
maining a warlock as
starting
well.
a
Yeah.
warlock
Love it.
right now as we're talking.
It-
because
Warlocks-
you said that.
It's insane.
I really like the Void class on the Warlocks.
It's
Like,
insane.
Is
how
there
you do
any exotics that improve
Yes.
your ability
Yes.
to get a?
Yeah. The one that I infused just recently. The name of it is "I Have Another World," which you can actually choose. Its ability is highlights priority targets and improves the regeneration speed of your grenade, melee, and rift abilities.
And it's
Wow.
and
Wow.
it's
Really good.
on everything. If you
Wow.
use void, if you use a
What?
void damage weapon, it procs on.
Guys, this
Use
is
your
not broken.
abilities,
Not
it
broken.
procs on.
Doesn't need to be
No.
nerfed.
Guys,
It's fine.
we didn't even talk about starting a new character. All the same character creation tools are in place from Destiny 1.
Oh yeah.
That is not the issue right now.
That was disappointing.
That is
Are
not.
not. That's like.
This is a great pivot. Thank you very much, Briar. Why is the customization not changed?
Yeah.
God.
They should be looking at that.
Ah.
Let's get pissed about that.
All
Well-
right, BG Key in 88. I'm sorry, go ahead, Watts.
No, I was just, at least the meme continues of everyone moaning about warlocks, so I guess that's
They're
good.
really bad, guys. Don't make them. Trust me.
I can't imagine
Survivability
I can't
is really
imagine
hard.
Warlocks being treated in such a fair and equal manner by Bungie. I just never. It's unprecedented.
I'm really glad that I can also get an exotic on my hunter that says it does some ambiguous thing like improves double jump. And I'm like, what the hell does that even do? Oh, it increases the height. That's not the type of improvements that I'm looking for.
Did they name it not
Nah.
Bones of AO?
They
They,
named
they
it down.
should have. They should discount Bones of AO.
Yeah.
for
There is
discount
some shady
The flat
hunter
feet of
exotics. There's a hunter exotic that arms that looks like you're wearing like level 1 like green gear. That's what it
Right.
looks like visually. And I forget what it's called. Someone tagged it to me. But literally all it does is it reloads sidearms faster.
Ew.
I mean, to be fair, okay, guys, I don't want to be that guy. That's
Don't
like,
be that guy. But
I'm not
You're
gonna
gonna
be
fucking
that.
be that guy.
I'm gonna be
that
that
guy.
guy. I'm being that guy. The Omelon sidearm.
This is not the guy that I was thinking about.
All
being.
of them
they're
are
good.
really good.
Yes.
They're
Like
They are.
really good.
Yes, they are.
Like
I
they
haven't tried
melt
one yet.
people.
I got the
Yep.
Pulse one. It's insane.
It's insane.
Yeah. Also in
No, they're
PvE,
really
I was looking at the damage numbers. I was like, this thing is
Yeah.
destroying.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's better than a shotgun.
It's
Wow.
it's the Omelon
Also, it's
sidearms.
satisfying too.
I went into PvP and I was like, damn it.
And the best thing,
There we
Briar,
go
is
again.
that you can get them. You get them in elemental damage.
Yes.
So if you're going in, so back to the strike thing, right? If you're going in and you choose an elemental specific to the enemy type that you're using, the sidearm causes an additional explosion when you
Oh.
pop their shields.
Yep.
So
That's just popping.
That's
shields
energy.
In general.
Yeah.
Oh no, I know, no, but no, it pops it if you're using the element of the shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
energy in general.
No,
not
it's
sidearm.
not. That's not
All
true.
right, guys, we gotta
What?
move on.
No,
We
hold
gotta
on.
this
move on.
is this is
Well, we
important.
should clarify this.
Well,
No, that's
get to it
definitely
then.
that's it. If the shield energy is arc and you shoot it with an arc energy weapon or an arc power weapon or hit it with an arc nade and it pops, it will create the explosion.
It does a bigger explosion.
It
And
could-
it damages
and-
things next to it
Yeah.
as
Right.
well. It does more damage to the actual mob and it also does extra damage to things.
You do not get that effect if you're shooting it. It will continue. It will drop the shield just as fast if you're
Yeah.
using void, but it will
But it
not
won't
give
cause
you
the-
it
You
will
won't
not
get the
cause
giant explosion.
Yeah, but-
All right, PG Keen 88 says, "What was your favorite memory that showed before you started playing Destiny 2 and why?"
Every single campaign ending with my friend laughing Cheerio, and then him being in the party, and
While it was happening.
and realizing we were getting ready to do that again to add another chapter to that book.
That's really
That's
cool.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah. I think for me it was a mixture of two. There was one where me and Tomo like just did Crota together. So all of like the raid for Crota and the story, it was just like him the whole way, and it was like, hey, we finished the raid solo, like just duo, me and him doing it. And then there was of course the me, Ian, and Patrick for the first Lighthouse, which was a charity event. Yeah.
You were in the chat for that, which is really
I
cool.
was, yeah. I was like, oh, there we
Who is
go. Yeah.
this?
It was the first trials, and we've kept that tradition up the whole way through. Me and Patrick playing together, so
Except
that was pretty
Ian.
cool to see the beginning. Yes, except Ian.
Ian left.
He'll be back. We'll
Better.
force him to be back.
Anybody else?
Man, it's which memory that got triggered and was like the most memorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly think it was our Taken King experience. I saw that and I was like, yeah, because that was a long stream and
Mhm.
we had some ups and downs and we did it and it was, yeah, it was a moment for me.
It was.
The only one that really triggered for me was there was a raid that I did where I pulled together some guys that I'd been playing with and to not help me help, but to play with Irk from Bungie, and he was just looking to do the raid, and I pulled together a team together, and we played, and that raid team became my homies for the last 3 years.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
It was really cool. I don't know, we're the laundry boys, and so hit story behind that.
Nice.
But
I had two of them. One was playing with you, Pope, and Leif with for my first trip to the Lighthouse. That was a really good
Oh,
one. Saw
nice.
that.
And back
saw
when
that
you
one
still
pop
didn't know
up.
how to play.
Yeah, that was a good one. And then also, I met the Milky Sirloins, like my clan, during the Dark Below, but seeing their names pop up for the Prison Elder stuff, it was really. I haven't played with those guys in forever because they kind of drifted away from the game, but it was fun to see them because I spent so much time with them.
It's awesome.
Nice.
That is a cool memory.
Philip Game says, "Will there be spoilers on the podcast?"
Kind of, sort of.
A little
Not,
bit.
not too much though.
I just
Not
thought
too
it'd be
bad.
funny to ask that at the end of the podcast.
We didn't get into like the
The story.
end, and I guess we
Yeah.
could save it for next week.
And I
Yeah.
mean, can you believe it? In the story, your guardian gets killed at the end. I mean,
They killed us.
Tyler Gang says, "Where are the factions? They all have spots in the tower and farm, but no NPCs. We kind of talked
Well,
about
now
that.
we know the answer.
Yeah.
Faction rally.
Check back in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Topher says, what was the moment that made you laugh out loud the hardest so far? Mine was the epic speaker burn to Gaul.
That was pretty good. He's like, why don't you kill yourself? I was like, wow. The speaker is the internet.
Fucking, no, failsafe. Failsafe had one of those.
Sassy.
Failsafe is savage. She told Cade and our ghost to delete themselves.
They did. They say, why don't you delete
yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, toxic.
That was really good.
There's definitely some moments for me where the characters make fun of Destiny 1. And Kate 6 says,
there's a bunch of those.
Don't tell me I don't have time to explain, It was really funny.
I really enjoy Cade for sure, and the failsafe and all that were probably the highlights for me playing through. Like, I can't name a specific one. The cotton socks was really funny, but there was just so many that were like, I was laughing out loud constantly.
I think Cade and his chicken. Cade became connected with that chicken,
funny,
and the chicken's name is Colonel.
Yeah,
so now we know that.
Colonel, the KFC.
Like KFC, yep.
Yeah, there's a point for Cade at the very end of the story, so I can't even say what happens.
Oh,
but it really made me laugh the way he kind of explained what just happened.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Proto says, as a YouTuber and or streamer, where do you draw the line on having fun and the stresses of your job?
It's really difficult. We actually got to talk about this at the PAX panel.
We did, yeah.
And my answer was just really blunt. You can't. At least when you have both YouTube and Twitch as your primary means of income, and you have no other money coming in, video games in general are not something that I can just kind of sit down and enjoy for the most part, which is why I took like 2 days, quote unquote, to just enjoy the game before I started putting out content. That was my me time, and now it's time to work.
I've got a completely different answer. For me, being able to spend time with the family, spend time with my wife, spend time with my mother who lives a few towns over, it's hugely important to my mental well-being. And when I let the stressful tide of YouTube or streaming take over, then everything falls apart. The content gets worse. Mm-hmm. My mood gets worse. Everything gets worse. So setting a budget for yourself that works within the content that you can create comfortably, I think is actually really important for me. Trying to stream, obviously with the release of Destiny 2, I'm very excited to be playing Destiny 2 all the time. So I want to stream it. So like these long hours of streaming and making YouTube videos, like crazy hours, that's something different. But on a day-to-day basis, I think it's important to understand how much you're going to make from a job like this, and then set a budget that allows you to also enjoy life, right? Is maybe you can't make 2 videos a day and stream for 8 hours because you realize that you have to go out and see your friends, or you have to spend time with your kids so they don't hate you when they grow up and are in therapy for the rest of their lives, and spend time with your wife so that you still have a wife. You have to set priorities other than making as much money as you can.
Yeah.
On YouTube or on Twitch.
Sometimes you got to let those opportunities go by and spend time with the family.
Yep.
That's why I live alone.
I'm on the same.
Even then, though, living alone is you still have to make yourself happy.
Yeah, you got to take care of yourself. That's right. And no, 100%, Pat. Like your Magic card hobby, if you want to call it that, or passion, whatever.
That's my hobby.
Yeah, it gives you a sanity, because if you do just focus on YouTube and Twitch exclusively, then there is an insanity that can set in that is unhealthy. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You kind of get trapped in the loop of just being stuck in this thing, and then you start to lose touch with reality a little bit, because you're like, what's going on outside? What day is it? I'm not sure. I've just been streaming and sleeping.
I had that yesterday when I was streaming.
Yeah.
Wait, shit. What day is it? It's still Wednesday. It's still Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because I started streaming it. I don't even remember.
Yeah, I'm on the same page with Briar. For me, I know my limits, and I don't operate well when I'm stressed. So when I feel myself hitting a certain limit, then I know that I have to take time off. And I'm very open about that. I'll just straight up be like, sorry guys, no stream today because I need a me day. I need to have mental rest. I need to not talk. Like, that is one thing. Yeah. When you're a streamer, you talk all day.
I need
like, all day.
To shut the fuck up.
Like, you need to take that into consideration also, because some people don't talk all day. Some people are at a job and they do something, then they, like, your moments of conversation are different. And those things can they could just be a different type of stress that enters into your world. So
you can be stressful on a relationship in that way too, Tefty. If for me, my wife comes home, she wants to talk, and I get off the a stream, and I'm like, I'm kind of talked out.
Been talking all day.
Kind of ready for a little quiet time.
Yeah, it's an interesting balance. Like, I'm very blessed. I'm very lucky to be where I'm at. I'm able to, just like Briar said, you make yourself a budget and you understand what your budget is, so you can live within those means. And you definitely have to live within those means, because you don't have an infinite supply of cash by any means at all. And companies don't just give you stuff for free all day long. Sometimes you do get free stuff and it's awesome, but it's not like a daily thing,
And then sometimes you have to spend like $300 trying to play Destiny 2 when it launches. Woo.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
by getting a plane ticket to New Zealand, of course.
Yeah.
Speaking of cool shit.
Yes, I have that as well. It's really cool.
No. It's a box of Pop-Tarts with my name on it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And a free ad read for Pop-Tarts.
Here you go, Pop-Tarts.
Best job getting sucked into that one.
There we go. Got it. There we go.
I guess that 30-cent box really was effective.
Thank you, Activision.
So I say, for those people wondering how to balance that stuff, you really have to understand your limits and make sure your health and your sanity is number one priority, because there's no reason to go and try to get quote unquote popular or successful and then be like ready to not be in this world anymore.
Also, you want to stream when you're in a good mood and you got high energy. You don't want to be like exhausted, in a bad mood, hungry, turn on the stream and it's not entertaining. You don't put on a good show for anybody, and people are coming to watch you to have fun and get away from their real life. They don't want your garbage getting in the way of their fun. So it's definitely important. Like, if you're feeling really bad, just be like, I'm just gonna chill.
That's why I was so resistant to setting a schedule. Because how am I going to schedule a good mood? Like, what a stream when
Tomorrow,
I'm in a good mood. How am I going to schedule a good mood?
Super positive and happy.
That is
maybe
funny.
Friday I could be a little depressed. I'll have a depressed day Friday.
Yeah. No, Watts, you hit it right in the head, honestly. Like, people like to watch content as an outlet to not be thinking about some stuff that's stressing them out. And if you're stressed out and bringing that stress to your content, so people are like, oh, that sucks, man, that you're so stressed out. Oh, man. Suddenly they're like, I don't think I'm going to watch this anymore because I'm getting stressed out from your stress, man.
I'll be honest. Today I got a little stressed because I was trying to get kills with that pistol, the sidearm for the quest.
Yeah, it was pissing me off,
and
too.
things kept killing me, and people kept taking my kills, and I was yelling.
Ugh.
But that was my only stress. I got a little angry. It's fine.
I got angry at that last night because I was into 11 hours deep into a stream, and people were taking my elite kills with the pistol, and I was like,
yes.
Could you not kill these guys with the pike?
That's when you got to switch to the quest where you got to get the in-air kills with
SMG.
Yeah, that one de-stresses.
Also, or you just bottle everything up inside and then let it slowly release into a fine thing like the Dead Cat ad read. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. By the way, that is fully animated and on the website. Link to that will be link to will be at the end of the video.
That. I need to check that out.
Really good.
You need to check out.
Yes.
Andy worked her ass off, and the Dead Cat ad read is perfectly animated.
It was really good. And I remember, for those people in chat that wonder why we give Patrick such a hard time about the ad reads, is because he peaked early. I mean, that was really early on. Patrick did the Dead Cat. He was talking about his dead cat, and You know, it was a really sentimental moment, and then he
seamlessly transitioned.
seamless,
Seamless.
almost like some sort of psychotic killer. You know, just
You can hear us.
You can be
like,
psychotic
we
and
realize
not be a
what's
killer.
happening. We realize what's happening. We just start cracking up because we can't believe like it went from dead cat into an ad read. It was perfect. It was actually
brilliant.
Very
fucking
good.
wonderful. Name Ibrahim says, "Hi guys, the Sentinel subclass made me change from Hunter main to Titan. Can you accept my allegiance, Pope?"
Oh. No.
Well, you know what? Here's the reality. If you're not a Titan, you're in some sort of like
You're a warlock.
you're just like
You're
Voidwalker.
proc and devour constantly.
everybody's a Titan or should be a Titan. If you're a hunter or warlock, it's just you're on a lost path. You know, you're kind of lost and eventually you'll come back.
One
So to
class
answer-
has a planet named after him.
Right. So I'm just the way that I'm going to put this is that I don't welcome. I don't feel bad for people. I just they should have been here anyway. So it's good.
And you're gonna be
I
so
don't know.
happy when I make all these orbs for you, and you get to use your super a bunch, and
And then when
I-
I give you recovery and resilience and mobility and orbs,
Man,
Just saying.
that sounds.
I make you invisible when you're about to die.
That
You know, we
sounds
see you in
like-
the corner there, and I just throw.
That sounds like when you
I-
hire someone to help you out. Be like, I need some hired help around here. Let's get these hunters.
okay, yeah.
The
no, that's
people
a
with
perfect
true
description.
personality are hunters.
No,
Okay.
Tefty, you're not
We-
joking, but I
we love
swear
it.
to God, that is a perfect description of what hunters
You guys
are.
are hired
right now.
guns.
No,
I mean, yeah.
warlocks and titans, they have this really defined support role, and
No,
no matter
they
the
have
group,
they have a code of ethics and
okay,
morality.
whatever the fuck you
and
want to call it, and hunters
are selfish pieces.
There
Of,
for
no
the glimmer.
hunters
Whoa,
are
folks,
very
come on, too far.
very fine-tuned equipment that there's like 3 different subclasses that do 3 totally different things, and depending on what you need, that's going to be the card that you pull out of the magic deck that you tutor for that you need in that specific situation. Okay, that's the thing that you need. Okay, now I need a thing to do a lot of damage to this boss. Golden gun. I need a thing to tether the boss or tether all these ads. Cool. Night Stalker. I need a thing to just wipe the floor with everything and do some sweet kung fu.
As soon as this conversation gets serious, like it is right now, I want to just check right out. I like to have fun with this conversation to like goad
do you
people a
think
little
we're getting
bit.
serious?
But as soon as people get serious about it, I'm like, you're
Who's
taking
getting
this too
serious?
far.
Yeah.
You know what? I like
Who's
playing
getting
with
serious,
I-
Byron?
I like playing with a world. Patrick with his 5-minute tirade he just went on.
That's not Patrick being serious.
No, none of us.
I'm mildly serious in that
all
Electric
three classes are fun to play.
They
They're
are.
extremely
really
fun,
believe
and
that.
the class. I'm known for being a Titan, and Patrick's known for being a hunter, and so is Watts. And I think that some of that rivalry is part of what makes
I am a
Destiny fun.
Night Stalker. I am. I turned into a Night
And by
Stalker.
the way, I'm
I-
dropping codes in chat every time
Codes!
Patrick
Yes.
says magic.
What I've been trying to do is split into equal parts of each class. That's
Yeah.
I've slowly
You're
been
just
doing
a
that.
Void Walker now, Tefty. You're
Well,
just
it's going to
a
be
Void
hard
Walker.
not to be a Void Walker after using
fucking
Devour.
poser.
Hey, after using Devour in the raid, it's going to be tough. But over the past year or so, I've definitely been splitting into all 3 classes and seeing just the benefits of all of them.
They're fun.
Yeah.
It changes the way I think even in Destiny 2, the differences between the classes are even more apparent than they were in Destiny 1. And I think it changes like your play style more.
Yeah.
Modon says, it feels more like Aliens than Alien. Does it lack that thing that made Destiny 1 different from all other shooters out there? So he's comparing it, the difference
No.
between Aliens and Alien.
It's literally Destiny 1, but so much better. More to do. More. It's
Watts,
so
do you
good.
think the Destiny 1.5 thing has validity?
No.
No?
Not in the slightest. I'm actually exploring worlds. I'm doing so much in the world. And when I think about how many exotics I've got left to get, how many more things are upcoming in the world, when I think about, I have 2 other characters I have to level and get all the exotics on that, I have so much to do. And
I was only asking because you said it's Destiny with more. So.
It's I mean, it's a sequel, right? So I wouldn't want it to be different to Destiny. I hated that. Actually, one thing that I was really concerned about in the beta playing PvP was that the gunplay didn't feel like what I fell in love with in Destiny 1. But now playing it, it's like, this is everything that I wanted in Destiny 1. This is what I wanted. I wanted to go into a world and get lost, going here, there, and everywhere. 5 hours later, I'm like, oh yeah, I was supposed to go do that story mission that I was supposed to do like 5 hours ago. It's so much of what I wanted.
That Alien and Aliens thing is actually a pretty apt description in my eyes, but for all the correct reasons. Because Alien, it's not going to try to reinvent the franchise. It added an S, which means there's more of it.
I think Aliens was a completely different genre of movie than Alien.
Really?
Yeah, Aliens was like an action movie. Alien was a horror movie.
Am I forgetting which one Aliens was?
Aliens was the second one where the Marines, like you got all the Marines coming down, and Alien was the first one where it's just like a really like claustrophobic horror movie on a spaceship.
Maybe
I'm forgetting. I think I'm actually remembering the story of how Aliens was pitched, where James Cameron or whoever just wrote an S on the end and put a money sign on it. I think that's what I'm remembering. That might be what I'm remembering.
Fair enough.
I don't know. It's a tough one because you don't want Destiny to not feel like Destiny. That would be really awkward.
No,
but
that would be awful.
There was a lot of problems with Destiny 1, and we as a community really started to overlook them after a while, even though some of them were fixed. But there was a lot of them that were just like, well, that's just Destiny for you. just accept it. You're playing Destiny, And I feel like they fixed quite a bit of those with Destiny 2 and just made the universe not 2 times better, but for me 10 times better. So it's tough. It's tough to place exactly where it falls in between it feeling like whether or not you think it's a big expansion or a sequel or something where it should have been in the first place, but obviously they couldn't do it because they didn't have the perspective to make this type of game back then.
Yeah, I'm more interested in having a sit down hour-long 3-beer conversation about the difference between Alien and Aliens with this guy, because I do not see this conversation. I do not see the relevancy of that at all. Like, those two movies could be more different. They share Alien in their title and the same like xenomorphs. Other than that, they're like completely different genres of movie.
Ridley carried over just like our characters.
Mm-hmm. Brown Sugar Trey says, have you been outside since the Destiny 2 launch?
Walked out on my balcony.
Yes.
Walked out on my balcony, tried to breathe, but there's all this smoke in the air from the forest fires, so I just went back inside.
It's real bad.
Good idea.
There's smoke in Central California too, so I haven't I've gone out, but then I see all the smoke and I'm like, no thanks. There
was literal ash falling from the sky. I went to go close my window and there was ash on the windowsill. I ordered cat food from Amazon, so I don't need to go out.
Amazon's nice.
You can order people food. You don't have to order cat food.
Well, I know. Right. I need to feed my cats.
Cats gotta eat too, Cat.
Pizza.
My cat's gotta eat food. I'm not going to the pet store right now.
Before we transition off this, I had a Guardian message me on PlayStation from Puerto Rico, asking for prayers and thoughts for everyone down there. You guys heard down there in the south part of the U.S., Caribbean, Cuba. If you guys are tuning in, stay safe.
Yep.
Because Irma is Irma. I really hope it's Irma.
It's Irma. Hurricane Irma.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. There's so many hurricanes that have been this year. I forget the names of them, but this one's looking really bad. So please stay safe. I want to see you guys in game. I want to see you guys doing well.
Yep.
And
yeah.
Prayers with you guys. Prayers with you guys.
Yep.
I want to bitch about getting match made with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My father-in-law is leaving Florida right now. He's in traffic. We were just talking to him an hour ago. They're in 5 miles an hour the whole way out of Florida, and then they went down. They live down in the Keys, so literally he had time to tie up his boat to a tree, and a few other things to a tree, because the whole island.
We picked a good tree.
Yeah, the whole Keys is going to get underwater, so it's going to be pretty nuts.
God damn. All right, guys, I'm going to flip this over. We're going into rapid fire question mode.
Let's have it.
You guys ready for this?
Here we go.
All right.
Rapid
Body
fire.
Bomb says, if you had to choose between fish ice cream and steak shake, what would it be?
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Fish ice cream? I'm going steak shake.
Wait,
What?
fish ice
Like
cream?
a
Wait,
steak-
what?
Hold on. A steak that is pureed into a shake?
It's better than fish ice cream.
Wait.
Oh,
There's
I
fish
see.
ice cream?
We
Like
didn't
ice
read
cream
that
made out of
right.
fish flavor?
Oh,
didn't
I'm just getting
understand
ice cream then.
I
I'm
just
not
heard ice cream.
mixing
I heard fish
No.
ice cream
You
I
guys hear
or
the
a
question?
shake
I just
that was
want
made out of
ice cream,
steak.
Brian.
If you had to choose
just
between
want ice
fish
cream.
ice cream and steak shake, which would it be?
Steak
Oh,
shake.
Yeah, steak shake. Fish ice cream. That's disgusting. You guys should be ashamed of yourself. Bushman says, fail safe or ghost?
Salmon?
Fail safe.
Fail safe.
Fail safe.
Fail
Fail
safe.
safe.
Ghost. Jellybelly100 says, what do you guys think about the pay-to-win Eververse? We are well beyond cosmetics now. Mods affect gameplay. Next
Mods are-
up is selling game. Guns.
Mods are also available from multiple sources in the game. They are not only available from the Eververse, and it's the mods available from the game are
better.
so prevalent that if you play the game for an hour, you're going to get a ton of mods.
You don't need to do it. You don't need
I-
We
to
don't need to do it, but if we don't push back when they start to encroach the line,
I agree.
when do we start to push back?
I think we can say
I
we're
feel
not
like
happy
as a
with mods
podcast,
being an Eververse.
I would say that too. I would agree with you, Watts. I'm not happy about it either.
If the mods were not available in the game, then I would have a problem with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
I think
we should
I
say
don't
For
that
sure,
we're
I would
not-
have more of a problem with it.
I don't see any problem with it being in there.
I think
Any time that you can affect power with a paid transaction, I get uncomfortable with it. And the
I
further
think-
down that path they go, the more
Yes.
uncomfortable I get.
I would
because-
say that maybe we're not super pissed, but we're starting to get a little uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I
was
think that's
little
probably a better way
uncomfortable
to-
last time they started to encroach that.
Do you think it's a steady increase?
Are the power level of the mods like higher than the other mods that you would get from playing?
The mods at Eververse are blue. You can't get the legendary ones at Eververse. I don't
That's what I'm
believe.
saying. I mean, you're not getting.
the biggest thing that you just have to ask yourself, are you going to be able to do a Nightfall easily because you paid money to Eververse?
No.
Then
Are you going to
If
be
it
able
hits
to
that
climb
line.
the non-existent leaderboards?
if it hits a line where suddenly you can easily clear a raid or a Nightfall because you bought some items from Eververse, then I would be livid. But it's clearly
So,
not
all right.
that situation right now.
I agree with you, Tefty, but what I see is them stepping closer and closer to the line, right? They haven't crossed it, for sure. They haven't crossed it, in my opinion. Like, I don't agree that what this question says, that, this is clearly, pay to play. This isn't pay to play,
Or
but
pay
it's
to win.
stepping up to that line, right? It's stepping up.
So it's getting closer for sure.
So I want to express that I'm uncomfortable with where they're heading.
I will.
Not obs-
So I will say I don't have a complete feeling about it yet because I don't know the extent of how powerful mods can affect the gameplay.
True enough.
That's how I feel about it.
All right, Jaffet Fernandez says, what do you think of some of the returning exotics? For example, blank. I'm not going to say which one he said because some people might not know that it's available again. What do you guys think about returning exotics? We've talked about it before.
Actually, I like the changes that they did to a lot of the exotics, actually, that they brought back. I feel like, I've seen them before, but
They're
feel
coming back,
like
but they're not the same.
better. Yeah.
I got a particular blank exotic from a quest after finishing it, and go do European Dead Zone. I'll just say that. Go do the main quest in European Dead Zone.
You have to be.
I love the way those two
be
weapons
higher light level
kind
for
of
that.
combine to improve too. That's really cool.
They're really cool. And I like the changes that came to it. Next week I'll actually give you my full opinion on that damn thing because I don't like the aesthetic visual choices of the weapon. It looks like it's like Duplo versus really high end Lego. But yeah, no, I like the exotics that have come back. I still would have preferred entirely new stuff
For sure. I agree.
because there's some stuff that changed much for the worse.
Nitro CC.
Actually, hold on one second.
Junior.
I wanted to say that is actually one criticism that I had with Destiny 2 is the number of reused models of guns and loot, and also the fact that and also the fact that exotics came back. I will say personally, that annoyed me. Like seeing guns drop that look like guns that I've had in the past in D1, I was like, but really, you couldn't have a different model? And like, yes, all these exotics that have come back, I've been like, at this point, I'm like, all right, well, I'm having a great time playing Destiny 2, so it's not going to discourage me from wanting to play Destiny 2. But it was something that it left a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth, being like, really? This like,
I'd much rather
a Casitas again, you know?
And here's where I differ with you guys. It's the same universe. It's a sequel. These foundries are making the same guns.
True.
They're going to look the same. It's not like we're flashback, 100 years or flash forward 100 years where we would expect these companies to have made different designs.
True.
So I have no problem with it.
I feel like I paid the whole price of a brand new game. Give me a whole brand new game.
That would break with the design of the game.
Don't care.
My
name's not Bife. I'm not a lore master. I don't really give a shit. I just want brand new stuff.
You're getting brand new guns. Name one gun that's the same.
All brand new guns.
All
brand new
guns. Name one that looks the same that is different.
There's another Casitas out there. Like I said, there is a ton of auto rifles that look like the blue auto rifles.
Yeah, there's PDX 40.
Because they were in the previous game.
There's a DIS 43 or 47 or whatever it is.
Anyway, back to rapid fire. HDog00
I have no problem with it, to be honest with you.
What is the max glimmer cap?
99999.
There you go. Kevin Paisley says, how many times did you go to orbit, then travel just out of Destiny 1 habit?
Twice.
Just twice? You're doing a hell of a lot better than me, Watts.
I actually never did it. I was like...
Chat yelled at me, so I was like, oh, right.
Yeah, I never once went to orbit by accident. I was like, oh, how do I need to open up the map. Oh, yeah, the map. And there's a few times where I was like, how do I get to the farm?
Yeah.
Did chat tell you that you can hit the start button and pad at the same time to just go straight to the directory instead of having to hold it?
Yes, they did say that, and I still haven't done that. I know it, but I kind of like the fact that I just hold the pad.
And it goes quickly.
Yeah.
Kevin Paisley says, how many times did... Crispin Matusik says, what are your thoughts on the clamber mechanic? I like it when it works, but I feel like I'm falling off a lot of ledges that I shouldn't be.
There's some really finicky points about it. I think there's an internal cooldown, like you can't keep doing it. I think you can't like clamber, fall, like you have to reset your jump ability, like you have to land on something to be able to do it again. There's some weird things with the clamber or mantle, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah, I would agree with Crispin here. I like it when it works, but I do feel like it's a little weird sometimes.
Yeah, there could be a few times where you're like, oh, that should have clambered.
I do find myself kind of bouncing in weird directions too, like I used to. That was kind of felt like that had been fixed in the beta, but maybe I was just jumping off of flat areas the whole time in the beta.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the areas in the beta were there's some weird points in the story where you're having to jump on rocks, or at least that's not story, that's on Nessa's main quest. You're jumping on some rocks, and man, I was bouncing on every other angle except the one I was supposed to.
I equipped my sword. And I was fine.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
I found something in European Dead Zone, a invisible ceiling where I was using blink, and I couldn't blink past it because it would just stop every time. I find the weirdest stuff in games when it comes to bugs, guys.
Joey Menino says, what are your thoughts on the trophies available for the game? Pretty disappointed myself. Thought there would be way more.
I haven't looked at them.
Same. Haven't looked at them
either.
There weren't a whole lot for Destiny 1. So I don't know why you would think there'd be a whole lot for Destiny 2.
There's probably a cap to how many in the PlayStation or Xbox store you can have per game, and they got to carry through the expansions, through the DLCs
maybe.
and stuff.
I don't know.
Oh, that could be, yeah. There's only
Rare Unicorn. Rare Unicorn says, what are your thoughts on the new loot system? We're going to skip this one because... Well, do you want to skip this one? What do you guys think?
I like loot. It's great.
Loot's awesome.
I like loot. I can't really speak intelligently about it yet until I've really played Endgame.
We're 2 days in.
We should answer this after Xur, because
give it a month. Let's give it a
stuff.
month so we can see everything.
So
yeah,
we could do that. Also, the way I feel right now, leveling up is fantastic, and I feel like I understand lots of different points of where I can go get legendaries as I get leveled. So
I do like that, Tafty. That's a good point. I like that. I don't feel like I just have to run strikes forever, because we had to do that for the Taken King. That was clearly the best way to level up for the Taken King, was to run strikes. that was okay, fine, strikes. Then we had to do it again for Rise of Iron, and basically for the rest of the year, I never wanted to run a fucking strike again.
Yeah, there's so many paths with the loot system right now. I like it.
Yeah. Zach says, how do you guys feel about the changes to character customization, and is the community cutting Bungie slack for reusing assets from Destiny 1? We kind of talked about this, so I'm going to pass by. Chris Cross says, how does everyone like PvP? What weapons does everyone think are good?
Better Devil's real nice.
Yeah,
it's
Better
so
Devils?
good. It's so good.
It's funny. The basically the loadout from the beta was Better Devils and then Nurgle on console.
And they're really good. They're
I think
Crucible
that's
weapons,
still-
though. So
Yeah.
I feel like maybe we're actually getting weapons from the Crucible that are good in the Crucible. I've been using the exotic hand cannon. Which
Sturg.
Yes.
Sturg.
Yes.
Spoiler.
Something like that.
And initially I was like, this is awful. But then it 3 taps, which feels pretty good because you can peek in and out of cover. You can shoot them. Feels really nice. Plus, you can use it with any energy weapon. So if you're using Nurgle, for example, which is an energy weapon, you can plink people in the head, get onto 0 ammo, switch to your hand cannon and kill them, and it refills your Nurgle.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's
It's
really good.
real nice.
I haven't played any PvP yet, but I got a gun called the Old Fashioned, and I really want
It's good.
to show up in the kill feed that somebody just got killed by an Old Fashioned. And if you're wondering why I think that's so funny, go look up
on
what an
Urban
Old Fashioned is. Go on Urban Dictionary.
It's not just a delicious drink.
Oh my god.
No, that's a really good hand cannon too.
It's so cool looking too.
It's having the barrel be realistic and like so thin is actually throwing me off. Like I'm used to my
The aim feels a little weird on it at first,
yeah.
right?
It's a very fast hand cannon too.
You can hear the barrel rotate every time you shoot it too. You hear click click click. Like it's so cool.
That's cool.
It's a really
Pretty
cool
cool.
gun.
Do you guys try Cold Heart?
Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't
It's
finished
pretty
it yet.
good.
Cold Heart is awesome. I mean, I
It's pretty
haven't
good.
played any PvP either. I've just been grinding light level, but I've heard some people say it's a laser in PvP and can melt.
Yeah, it's very
It's
good.
a fun weapon.
Yeah.
You know
That
what's
is a
really
fun
fun to use? The sword that makes you look like a ninja.
Yeah.
That's really
No,
cool.
Running around in
Sad.
PvP like that. Oh, so good. It's really fun.
There is a Vanguard pulse rifle that is pretty easily obtainable through the campaign, the Nightshade.
Yeah.
It's actually I found that it's really good.
That was in the beta. That was a great gun.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and it's still good in PvP on
Nice.
D2.
Dick Hurt says in Destiny 1, the did bad outweigh the good.
Did the bad outweigh the good?
Yeah, that's not how it's written. Or good outweigh the bad.
In
What do
Destiny
you guys
1?
think?
Destiny 1?
I know we've
Destiny
played it
1.
for 3 years. I feel like that's a pretty self-explanatory answer.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on. King Sig says, anyone bummed that factions don't have a progress bar with a number by it anymore? Like anywhere in the game, just gone, low-key disappointed.
I would like it to be some sort of tab that you could go to. Like maybe if you look at the director, you could see it for each location. That'd be really
That'd be
cool.
cool.
At the same time, factions rank up so quick. Like it's not like you go there to turn in the tokens and you basically hit 3 times and you're done, or it ranks up.
I would like to see that. For some reason, I do like that number was satisfying to see.
Yeah.
Wally / Killing for Food. What was your favorite part of the main storyline? We kind of talked about this. Do you want? I guess we didn't. We didn't
also
say
spoiler
Maybe
favorite
like
part.
save
Yeah, it is
save
very
this question
spoiler,
because I want to give specifics.
Sneak Duckin says, do you think they should have waited until a weekend to release the raid, or at least announced it sooner? Some of us need time to ask off.
Yeah. I mean, 2 weeks would have been better. Also, it's one of the best experiences of Destiny is going to a raid blind with your team. And getting 6 people coordinated to do that is difficult. So, yeah, I think they absolutely should have given us more time and announced it earlier.
I agree. Because then we could have also, even for the hardcore, you could have taken it a little bit easier, enjoyed the game a little bit more, getting raid ready.
Yep.
Especially with 3 characters. If you want to do it on 3 characters, that's some serious grinding
That's
instead of just
serious
enjoying
business.
the game.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys a question? Answer honestly. Is there any small part of you that enjoys the grind? Like that quick,
Oh.
like, got to get ready for it?
Yeah.
No.
Raid grind?
Oh, I love that.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to say what's really drawing me though, because the grind for me is just every time I get a new piece of loot, I'm like, yes. It's not necessarily me preparing for the raid. It's just I want that. I want to level up so I get another bright engram. Ooh, I'm about to level up my European Dead Zone. I want to do that. Ooh, I'm about to level up Crucible. I'm gonna go do that. So it's kind of like it's not necessarily the me getting ready for the raid and grinding for that. It's just that next piece of loot that I'm about to unlock that really keeps me playing.
I'm okay with getting loot. I hate making a number go up just for the sake of being able to do something I can already do and have the skill to do, but I need to play the game to prove to the game that I have the skill and put time into it. I hate that shit. But that's part of RPGs. It's part of the
skill. It's maximizing that your time and efficiency, getting that number to go up, isn't it?
I know. Oh, I know. And I hate it.
I like it. I mean, I'd rather it was 2 weeks, but there's a masochistic part of it that I actually enjoy.
I enjoy the grind regardless of how much time it takes. But I think for everyone else who doesn't.
Yeah, for everybody else, it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, to put that kind of pressure.
Sneak Duckin says, do you think they should have waited until a weekend? I just read that one. Andrew Toshak says, who would have the better diss track, Cade, Ikora, or Hawthorne?
Hawthorne, I think.
Hawthorne has some savage sass. Like,
yeah, she
on
does.
another level.
She's like, I'm actually good at like killing things, not relying on my light.
On my
to
light.
carry
she digs
me.
deep, right?
In one of the strikes, it was like, insecure men surround themselves with other like-minded people. And then our ghost is like, Cade, you want to respond to that one?
That's why I travel alone.
That's why I travel alone.
I feel like Cade would be the funniest one, but Hawthorne would cut the deepest. Ikora would be too serious. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't imagine her doing a diss track.
Zavala Zavala's the type of guy that wouldn't say anything. Ikora, she would just look at you and like you would know from just one or two words, like going, I'm so disappointed in you.
Well, you could just be like, you're just a shotgun warlock, so can we really take you seriously?
Oh.
Did you see it? Oh, never mind.
Twisted Fate says, thoughts on who the final raid boss will be? Anybody want to speculate?
A giant
Hold the fuck on. Story spoilers.
No, I think it's fine. Yeah, even with story spoiler, I still think it's going to be Cabal and Gaul. I still think Gaul's going to be something in there.
I think it's going to be Oryx. You're like, God damn it.
Oryx is like,
It's a taken raid.
I'm away.
The raid is going to be a single taken scion that reproduces infinitely every nanosecond.
It's like fighting the Hydra.
Every nanosecond it reproduces to X amount, and so you have to coordinate with your entire team to kill the scion and all of its progeny.
Wonderful.
The main attack is killing your frame rate.
Okay, so I've actually found an area that tanks your frame rate on Titan. Yeah, this not the first public event location on Titan, but the second one that's kind of further out. The Hive public event in there. If you have a wizard suddenly shoot the water, yeah, I was going down like into the 10 frame rate.
Really? Wow.
Check out
in that area.
Look at a spider tank and watch the shanks come out of the spider tank.
That's an animation glitch that's actually always been in the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I've never noticed it.
Even
like
in Destiny,
literally like 2 frames per second. Yeah. Twisted Fate says, I just read that one. I Am Rez says, I am the only one that wanted to kick Asher Beer's ass for talking crazy about Zavala.
Dude,
he's kind of a dick.
He's a dick.
Asher's
not gonna lie.
Not even like a the dick that you like to have around with
like
you.
Cryptarch.
Yeah, like
Cryptarch was like an ass, but he was,
you're cool. You're Cade.
Yeah.
Cade's kind of a dick, but you're cool with him because he knows he's a dick. But Asher's just like that. It's just that whirling for that. He's that inconsiderate, unknowing dick.
Yeah, he's a cocksucker.
He's inconsiderate super genius.
Yeah.
It feels like the type of guy that thinks he's really smart, and he knows he is, but there's two types of smart. There's two.
He's like an alpha nerd, right?
Yeah,
I
am.
The guy is super
I'm
smart.
let you know
An
how smart I
alpha
am.
nerd,
Here's my certificate given to me by Mensa that shows my IQ, and you're like, all right, bro, cool.
I
could do
there's
it all
dialogue that makes your ghost go, "Whoa, what did he just say?" So when your ghost is confused, you know this guy is like really smart.
The ghost was like,
Yeah.
And isn't that guy a warlock?
Probably. He probably is a warlock.
Totally.
He's high off his nades.
Swag Big Hector says, if you could be a potato, which one would you be? I'd be a Rutsit because they make the best oven-baked fries.
I'd be mashed taters.
Ooh. Can I be garlic mashed taters?
Ooh, delicious.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yummy.
That's like Infinity +1 right there. There's no topping that.
Can I be artisanal smashed fingerling potatoes?
You could be, but nobody would ever
No,
sounds like-
know who the fuck you were.
That sounds like Asher would say that.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. No, I'm just very specific with what I like.
Asher is very specific about everything.
No, Asher doesn't like anything. He hates everyone.
He does.
Actually,
He
God
hates us,
damn it,
probably.
it sounds so similar to me.
I know, you're kind of like Asher, Holtz.
Zeke the Xbot. No, I'm not going to read that one. Augie says, why does Banshee 44 sound like he has a SIVA infection in his throat?
I think.
Years of smoking.
There it is.
Is it not?
I think they changed voice actors actually.
Did they?
Maybe.
Did they?
I'll have to check the
He definitely
credits
sounds
again.
different.
No, see, I came with the gun.
He's always
Where's that second?
He's got one of those throat things.
He does.
he's always been like that
God.
super serious, gravelly, hey Guardian,
He has, yeah.
come get this
Hey,
gun,
why
Guardian.
Maybe he had to get his memory wiped again, and so he changed his voice.
The Cabals have hardened
Mr.
him.
Goodbites. Mr. Goodbite says, is there anything gameplay wise that you missed from Destiny 1?
Let me think about this.
I guess if
I
I'm
want
trying
to share.
about it.
It's really nice when you apply a shader and it didn't consume.
Oh, Lord.
Good one. I like the callback.
Some of my favorite memories, or some of the favorite things from D1, have not been explored yet in D2, so I'll hold that.
Yeah, we've done the equivalent of finishing the story of like Destiny 1, and now we're just we're still hoping. You're like, oh, what's around the next corner? We don't know yet.
Yeah.
Ricky Proctor says, who's your favorite new NPC?
Failsafe for me.
Failsafe, yeah.
100%.
Failsafe is awesome.
Yeah.
I really like Sloane. I don't know what it is about her. I loved her interactions with Zavala.
The woman on Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked her quite a bit.
I feel like her and Zavala might make some baby.
Her and Zavala totally.
Make some baby Titans.
They got a thing.
On Titan?
On Titan? Baby Titans on Titan?
I already watched the video on YouTube. YouPorn. It's already up.
I feel like you could ship those two together.
He's definitely popped the bubble around her.
Oh.
Around her? Or?
Does she have an old fashioned?
Warded her Dawn?
He's
Are
definitely
Guardian-
warded
hold
her
on.
down.
Are Guardians capable of reproducing? We're zombies.
It's a good question. I don't know.
Never,
Actually-
Are they like little guardian babies?
never thought about it.
Hey, Pope, scheduled Bifon. We got some important need
We
to
got-
know
that's a-
lore.
Big
You
question.
need to know that.
We do.
There could be a whole genre of animation coming from this conversation.
Buy, get it on the Patreon. I mean, he's already getting some of that animation stuff done, like actual
Justin-
lore stuff.
Justin SOS says, why is Holtzmann the coolest host on the show?
I didn't pick the questions this week. Can you guys tell? I didn't pick the questions this week. I just want that to be.
He's the
I saw
coolest.
that.
He's the coolest because he reminds me the most of Asher. That's why.
Yes.
The good parts or the bad parts.
We'll just say
all of
Asher.
There's no good parts of Asher.
Just Asher.
Just Asher in general.
He's got a
Just
cool
Asher.
arm.
You're just an Asher.
Yeah.
He does have
His,
a cool arm.
his arm is like this,
it's
like
a
kind
Vex
of.
arm.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes they say there are no stupid questions?
I saw this one get asked. I knew it was either not going to get on or you guys were going to ask it and then fucking roast me about it.
I think it's a very serious question. It's a good, people like Patrick for certain things, and I'm always excited to meet them in real life and see if there's any similarities and
find out what's wrong with them.
There's definitely a specific breed that when we at Guardian Con we could, someone was walking up, I could say Holtzmann fan. Especially if they're holding their magic cards in their hand as they were walking up and we were signing,
That
stuff.
only happened twice.
Patrick has an analytical mind that I think is greatly appreciated by a huge portion of this community.
I'm the token Vulcan of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I just like your rants.
Yeah, good rants. Good rants.
I think people like that too. Sir Altitude says, "Is the story considered a good length now?" What do you guys think?
I think it's a great length.
Honestly, I think that's okay. I got through the story in like 9.5 hours, something like that. So that's honestly on point for Destiny 1 as well. I think around Taken King 2.
Was it? Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like Taken King was shorter. I could be wrong though. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though. I finished the campaign, but I don't feel like I finished the story yet.
No.
Like the story keeps giving.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. There's so much content to get story-wise because there's these missions that open up, and then the adventures have so much more story than you even consider. The campaign itself is a really nice introduction to the world, essentially. Because once you finish it,
that's what it is.
Good way of putting it.
Yeah, because a lot of people play it and then be set off on their journey. Be like, okay, you did the campaign. Now it's time to get down to business.
You could play the campaign in Destiny 2 and never touch the game after that. If you're just one of those people, right, that just plays, that you could play the Destiny 2 campaign, feel satisfied for the money you spent, and leave.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and then there's also a whole nother set of people that will stay and grind out Destiny 2. Yeah. So I think that the campaign sits.
I don't know. I feel like if you're buying the game just to play the campaign to know the story, like you see the end cutscene and the credits roll, that's usually where people be like, "I beat the game," right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Destiny's not like that.
I feel like if you do that in Destiny, you're going to be disappointed.
I don't know. There's a lot of games that are being sold for $60 that have a shitload less content, and the campaign is
okay, but I'm just saying, you do the campaign, like you just follow the story missions effectively, and you see the credits roll. I feel like you're going to be disappointed with Destiny, in my eyes.
Well,
because
then there's
like,
PvP,
I feel like that's a judgment call from person to person.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's PvP also. A lot of people will buy COD and play an 8-hour campaign or a 6-hour campaign, and then play PvP.
A lot of people buy COD and
I
not play the campaign at all.
I never played the
played
campaign
the
and played shitloads of COD.
You know, there's a surprising amount of people, because I brought that up too, and like lots of people be like, "Oh, I always play the campaign. Always play the campaign." Yeah.
Some people said they only played the campaign.
The only thing I ever played
those
in
are the
COD
ones.
was
Yeah, I'm like,
PvP
really?
and zombies. Those are the only two things that I did in COD.
COD had great campaigns at the beginning. Like Modern Warfare 2 was a fantastic campaign. I even like Black Ops, but they started going downhill and getting so repetitive, and the way that they set up encounters never changed from like way back, like 10, 15 years ago, where you come into an area, a bunch of guys spawn in, come at you, you shoot them, you got to move up 5 feet, a bunch more guys come in, you shoot them, you got to move up 5 feet. It is so fucking repetitive. And even in the last one I played, Infinite Warfare, I tried to get into that because everybody said it was a great campaign, and it was the same fucking Call of Duty campaign that I remember from 15 years ago.
You're killing stuff to get in between cutscenes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's the way you do it. It's like this just incremental movement up that is just, it's so repetitive and so boring. Carlito says, game is great and all, but isn't the size of the collector's edition box just a tad ridiculous?
Yeah.
Hold on.
It was bigger than the OG Xbox.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. It's massive.
I fit this big ass bag in there, man.
I haven't even opened it yet.
Wait, I haven't opened mine either.
Yeah.
And this thing.
Yeah, you got a solar charging unit?
You gotta have this thing in there.
What is that?
Look. I don't know.
It's a
it might be an accessory to the old fashioned.
It's a USB solar charging device.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah.
It's a Vex sexual pleasure device.
Vex toys?
Mm-hmm. It's
Vex
a
toys.
Vex toy.
Oh.
What did I come back to?
It's a
Nothing.
Vex
Lewis,
toy.
The Vex toy.
the Vex toy. Lewis Cortez says, if you had a choice to have a pet in Destiny, what would it be? Mine would be the ever majestic ostrich.
Wow.
You can already have a pet. It's called specking a Stormcaller and going the talent that allows you to have a little orb pet follow you around and shoot stuff with you.
I was really surprised to find that. Honestly, I was like, what?
I was too. Yeah.
It's good too. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's helpful during those public events. Everybody steps in the pool and they get a buddy with you.
God, it's like,
That's
do you
pretty
want to
crazy.
bring a hunter without bringing a hunter? There you go. It's this thing. It helps you do damage.
You could also say that by saying, do you want to bring a hired gun without bringing a hired gun?
You want to bring a hunter, but you don't want to hear Asher in your headset for the next hour?
Well put, Briar. Well put.
Warlocks, man, they just have it good.
It's because of Deej. Obviously, it's because of Deej.
Because of each.
It's because of Deej.
All right, last question of the night. Good job. We did a good job on
Good
these
job.
on the rapid fire. We got through like 4 questions in like 45 minutes. I was really worried.
Wow.
Elusive Pineapple says, should they release a Groundhog Day 2 and have it simply be a re-release of the first?
I think
I'd watch it.
Groundhog Day 2 is Destiny 1 because you just keep doing the same shit over and over again.
Yes, that would be funny.
I would watch it.
I'd watch it too. I love
It'd
Groundhog Day.
be the greatest troll there ever was.
Yeah.
They would.
It
But
would be hilarious. What if they actually refilmed it with Bill Murray?
that's what I'm saying. They got to have Bill Murray
Shot for
again.
shot.
Shot
remake.
for shot, refilmed it.
And everybody's older.
That would be awesome.
Awesome.
I'd watch
I
that.
feel like that's something Bill Murray would actually do. Be like, I'm down.
Me
Let's
too.
do it.
Let's do it.
This.
He would probably self-fund it just to have it made.
Yeah.
It's like the ultimate copy and paste. I like it.
You can actually just
I like
call
it.
Bill Murray to do that. He doesn't have an agent. He just has an answering machine. I'm serious.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
serious
Bill
about
Murray.
that.
Let's do it.
He's Bill Murray.
Yeah. He's fucking Bill Murray. That's the reason why he voiced Garfield, because he didn't have like an agent to check that the guy with the last name of Cohen. He's like, oh, the Cohen brothers are doing an animated Garfield movie? That's great. Not the same Cohen brothers. Different Cohens.
Oh, man.
All right.
That one hurt long term.
Well, I think we are going to. I'm going to go get the podcast uploaded and everything. And you guys are all probably going to go play Destiny more, right?
Oh,
Eat and
yes.
grind. Eat and
Yes,
grind.
we are. We have some
Grind.
things to announce, though. You have a flyer to put up, Tefty?
I have a flyer to put up.
we're doing
We're
a
giving
giveaway.
away stuff.
Giving away.
Did I
thing?
get that flyer?
Yes.
This could be.
Yes, you did.
1 second, guys.
Yeah.
Yep. Sometimes we like to do things last minute. You're
Because
witnessing.
we are a podcast that thinks on our feet.
Yep, you are witnessing.
Yeah.
We
last
don't need a
minute
script.
It's okay. It disappeared
event
from
promo, right?
It disappeared, yeah.
We're professional.
Is
We're
it
giving
true?
away
We're announcing
Patrick's
that
magic
next
cards.
week?
Yes, we're giving away all of Patrick's magic cards.
Let me announce it. It's not in the thing. We're gonna put it up on Twitter after this thing, after the show. So I'm gonna put it out on Twitter. Follow @DestinyCompod. We are going to be giving away a custom built PC that's going to have the Destiny 2 Razer keyboard, mouse, and mouse pad. We are going to be working with On Air PC, who are a great group of guys. It's going to be a custom DCP computer with a monitor, the whole deal, and a copy of Destiny 2. So make sure to follow us on Twitter @DestinyCompod, and we're going to be pulling it on October 5th.
October
5th. And we did that so that people could win it and get it shipped to them in time for the PC release of Destiny 2.
It's going to be
So-
a completely custom PC too, with a Destiny community podcast theme on it.
It's gonna be.
It's gonna look
One of a
cool.
kind, bespoke computer built by On Air PC. On Air PC actually does.
I'm gonna have the other one. There's two.
Oh.
Everyone's like, what?
What?
So it's a custom PC built by On Air PC. On Air PC actually, they do. They just sent me a PC, which I love. They build PCs for streamers. So if you're a streamer, you need a PC. You can give them a call. They have a phone number. You actually give them a call.
You can call
You
them
talk
and talk
to
to
them.
a real person
Right?
who asks
It's
you
weird.
questions. It was the
It's
weirdest thing. I talked to him about what I wanted, and
Yeah.
we had this great conversation. I think there's going to be over 20 different ways that you can enter, and we're really honoring with this giveaway every one of the fans of our show. So if you are a subscriber to Watts, you get, or if you're already a subscriber, you're going to get extra tokens in the hat. If you're a subscriber of Patrick, you're going to extra tokens, and you don't have to be a subscriber to one of us. You can just follow us on Twitter or Patrick or Tefty or Watts, and you get extra names in the hat. So you can jump into this PC giveaway. If you click every box, it's going to be on Gleam. It's over 20 different entries. So follow us on
20
Twitter.
chances to win.
20 chances to win, and we are excited
Wow.
to give this away. And
I'd rather keep it, actually.
yeah,
Not
if
that
nobody
excited
wins
yet.
though,
I'd rather just keep it.
if nobody enters, we'll just get to keep it. I'll give it to you, Briar. If nobody enters,
Thank you. That's
Okay.
awesome.
All right, that's it.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. We're gonna go play Destiny 2. If you want to find more of me, I am at Holtzmann_YT on Twitter, where I am not a know-it-all asshat like Asher. I am a completely reasonable human being. Why don't you understand me?
I'm Briar Rabbit. You can find me on YouTube, just like a Briar Rabbit. You can find me streaming on Twitch, usually every day at 1 p.m. Eastern, but a little bit more than that right now. Or look me up on Twitter at the Briar Rabbit.
I'm Tefty Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter. Streams at twitch.tv/Tefty Teft, where I usually start around 6 p.m. Pacific time. And also YouTube channel is getting some love as well because there's Destiny content. I've been doing like a daily Destiny diary kind of thing of my progress, essentially, because I'm not really, I don't really do YouTube reviews or anything like that anymore, so I wanted to make something.
Are you a Destiny 2 vlogger now?
Yeah,
You
it's like a
vlogging from
Destiny
the
2
tower?
You
vlog.
should do it like
EDZ.
vlog style. That would be awesome.
That would be pretty
Like
badass.
it's actually your world.
Yeah,
That's
selfie
actually a
vlogging.
great idea.
Yeah,
As
Selfie
I'm
can't
doing
see
it.
him.
I like that idea a lot.
Hey guys, I'm here on the European Dead Zone. Just finished doing a patrol.
EDZ.
Memes and Tefty shaking our Destiny fantasies.
Shaking the
It'd be-
EDZ zone.
Yeah.
Or EDZ?
Shaking the EDZ.
Yeah,
It'd be
I
great.
like it.
yeah,
I think it's a fantastic idea.
a great idea.
And
I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube at Miss 5000 Watts. I'm streaming all the time. Yeah, streaming all. I'm
All the
never.
time.
Yeah,
Every day. All
Just
day.
every
All night.
all day, every day.
And this has been Pope Bear. You can find me on Twitter at Pope Bear, and make sure you follow us on Twitter at DestinyCompod for all the news related to these guys and what they do in their channels. Make sure that you follow us on Instagram at DestinyCompod, and just know that we're, along with the PC giveaways, we also do a lot of cross streaming. So where these guys will play with each other, and we're going to be announcing a lot of that in the weeks coming up. So you can make sure to watch Watts and Patrick do trials, and
We're
Tefty
doing
and Briar
the
do stuff.
DCP raid, too. We're going to be raiding together.
We
Coming
are.
out.
Yeah.
Yep.
World's first,
We
right
are
here,
getting
guys.
it. This is the team. We're already calling it right now.
Calling it.
You can tell everybody else to stay home.
I already
because we
printed out
won.
the T-shirts.
It's already been
World's
made.
first
so
DCP, world's first.
I got the
That's
tattoo
it.
yesterday.
Leviathan.
So
You got
guys,
the
don't let me down.
It's gonna happen.
It's on my back.
Actually, if we get world's first, you want to throw it down that we have to get tattoos?
No, definitely not.
The DCP logo right on our arms.
Oh Lord.
I'll get
I already have a tramp
removable.
stamp of that. I got to get another one?
Are you mean you didn't get hashtag undefeated tattooed on your inner lip? because I did.
Yeah, my knuckles undefeated.
Nice. Perfect.
Oh my
So
god.
apparently,
So, yeah, a lot of fingers on my left hand.
apparently, the Dream Team's podcast is getting close to number 10, which then makes them an official podcast.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
we may be coordinating a DCP versus Dream Team showdown.
All right.
So
I'm down. I am
I'm
down.
down.
I'm not even
Down.
worried since there hasn't been a podcast yet to defeat us. So they can do it. They can bring it.
They might have beaten Planet
Actually
Destiny.
correct.
They beat Planet Destiny, but shut up, Sirens! Shut
They-
up!
Were they a
Sirens.
podcast back then?
No, that
They
was
were not
They
a
were not a
podcast.
They were just
podcast.
Dream Team.
They were
Oh
not
yeah, you
a
We're not-
see.
Yeah,
There's the rules stipulate it has to be a podcast.
it has to be a
Yes.
podcast,
Yeah.
so it doesn't even
It's not
matter.
retroactive either.
It's
in
not-
podcast on podcast combat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We
it's
are
gonna
undefeated.
be epic, and they're going to be embarrassed. I hate to say it, but Mr. Fruit, bring it, buddy. I'm calling you out. You
All
got
right. The challenge has been issued to the Dream Team. Will they take up the call? Will Tefty Hiltude find out on the next episode
Guess
of
what?
Destiny?
There's no more
Community
hilts.
Podcast.
No more
There
hilts.
isn't.
No more
Yeah,
help.
There's no more
It's
hilts.
a Ghost Blade. It's
It's a Ghost
cooler.
Blade.
No more hilt tilt, guys.
Ghost Blade. That's a way better name for showdown of sword fighting.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Yeah.
Ghost Blade.
Ghost on the next episode of Ghost Blade.
I love it. I love
Bye,
it.
Same
everyone.
Ghost Blade time.
Bye.
Same Ghost Blade
Why?
Bye.
Bye.
Why?
And stay